I think that's it. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining today, actually tonight, for episode number 6 of 86 of Tattoo Collecting 101. So this is all a part of Guy Aitchison's Reinventing the Tattoo community, where tattooers, apprentices, collectors, and the curious are encouraged to join in on these live streams, real world events like we had last weekend at Hell City. And our goal is to ultimately share and inspire each other to create better art and tattoos together. We beam out nearly every day. So if you guys are watching now, you're probably pretty familiar with Tattoo Collecting 101, but we also have a lot of other great shows happening almost every day of the week. Sundays, you guys can find us with Jason Leister at 1 p.m. for Skill Building Sundays, as well as Monday mornings drawing group, followed by the Tattoo Weekly with Jake Meeks, Gabe Ripley, and myself, Lauren Gregory. Also on Tuesday mornings is Ricardo Sturdivant's Tuesday Feels, where artists are encouraged to kind of bring stuff that they're working on or designs, have it critiqued, or just draw with other artists together. Otherwise, if you guys are looking to find some of the content that we are talking about and record, you can find us on our Roku or YouTube channels, as well as all of the live streams happening at reinventingthetattoo.com. Other than that, we've got some cool upcoming events that are going to be happening around the country that we're going to. Next, let's see, 2 weeks from now is the Indianapolis Tattoo Expo. So that would be by Chris Taylor, who's been on the show several times, and we'll be excited for that. Otherwise, the Rubber City Tattoo Invitational towards the end of July, and Hell City in Phoenix at the end of August. Before we kick off with the wonderful cast today of the Tattoo Collecting 101, we want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, because without them, we wouldn't really have the content to provide you guys for free. First off, we have Raw Pigments. They're an ink company that is tapping into the source with acrylic-free inks, and they've been impressing artists from all styles across the globe. Also, we have World Tattoo Events, with the largest, most comprehensive resource for tattoo events in the world. You can find them at worldtattooevents.com. Also, some of our affiliates, Fireside Tattoo, blurring the lines between fine art and tattoos by Jake Meeks, ecofriendlytattoosupplies.com, and Apprenticeship Diaries, which we haven't talked to Amy Nichols in a while, but it'd be great to have her on one of these shows again. She's got a lot of fun stuff to say. Other than that, if you guys are looking for educational content, if you're not familiar with our new evolution classes, the new trimester is coming up soon, so you can go to reinventingthetattoo.com to find out more. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get me out of here and the stars of the show in. Fawn, how's it going?
Hey, Lauren, thanks for bringing us in. Yes, the stars.
You mean Fawn?
No, you're really stars. Ben and I are talking about this just before, how people are starting to recognize your show and coming up to all of us kind of in public, which is crazy and weird, but also fun.
Yeah.
Amazingly humbling.
Yep. It's pretty cool. Remember when you didn't want to be talked to by strangers?
Yeah.
So you got tattooed?
Thanks, Fawn.
But now you've got a card you can hand them.
I do. Here, I don't want to talk to you. Listen to the show.
Listen to me talk on here.
Here, I talk about my tattoos at nauseam. Here's a place to listen.
I don't want to talk to you specifically, but you can listen to me talk.
That was my favorite part about when we did Weird and Wonderful.
Yeah.
Was when, you and I were walking together for a lot of that day, and how many times people just come up to Ben and be like, "Hey, excuse me, are you one of the artists here?" Because it was at Red Tree, and you're just like, "No."
I'm here a lot, but no, it's not my gig.
No.
I can't draw stick people. Well, it's okay. Everybody's got their zone. Well, we completely lost you there, Lauren. I couldn't hear anything you just said.
I was going to say there's a cool little YouTube channel that I watch with my daughter called Art for Kids Hub. Check it out.
I should start there. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you should start there.
What if my level of art is art appreciation, and I can just be like supportive of amazing people that are already in my life and let them do their thing and me do something that they need instead of like trying?
Means like you want to be like,
he's upset that, or he's afraid that Lily might be better than him.
My daughter is already a better artist.
Yeah, if you jump down that rabbit hole, you're gonna be like, "How'd you color that in so beautifully? I don't even have my crayon ready yet."
Noses and mouths.
Yeah, they have cheeks.
She just draws in little baby cheeks. I'm like, dude, I get a circle, 2 dots, and a little line.
You know what, guys? If I can interrupt, I am seeing you right now and I love seeing you all, but I don't think everybody who's watching knows who all of you are, especially Kyle's first on the show. Joe, do you guys want to go through an intro?
Oh, yeah, we started getting carried away without even like introducing us.
Your poor audience.
It's Kyle, the intern.
I post cable management pictures and nothing else.
This is what it should look.
Take a minute and introduce yourself, Kyle.
Yeah, I'm an artist. I just moved out here to Columbus. You can find me online, Skies of Fire Tattoo, Skies of Fire Tattoo on Instagram as well. Yeah.
Amazing.
Nope.
It's nice to meet new artists.
Yeah.
He also helps with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff
true,
with
yes.
Reinventing, which is worth mentioning. He's kind of been a part of the crew before you've even seen his face.
Yeah.
So
Pre-crew.
Been in the
Pre-crew.
background for like a year almost now.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's really weird to think that this has been going on though.
Yeah.
Like, remember when it was just about like smoking weed and talking to your friends?
It still kind of
Look
is.
what the fuck this has turned into.
It is, but now there's an audience.
There's like cameras,
People want
angles.
people want to listen to us smoke weed and
Oh,
talk
man.
about tattoos.
I haven't even thought about what my angle is yet. Hold up.
Wait. That's I don't have.
Hold
a
on,
good
you
side.
gotta do the awkward like
You know what the best part about being ugly is you stop caring. It just makes it so much smoother. Every side's my bad side.
I mean, it's fine.
Hey, I live La Vida
No,
Loca.
But
It's
what I
fine.
say, my 11-year-old, getting really into art. We got her an iPad Pro. She's like doing that whole thing, and she's been getting increasingly better every time I see her. And she asked me, she's like, "Hey," she goes, "Like, I can't think of anything to draw. What should I draw?" I was like, "Well, I'm like, you're getting pretty advanced, and you're exploring techniques and stuff." I'm like, "Let me show you some of Alex Gray's stuff, and just see if you can kind of like try to recreate what he's doing." And then she did, and I was like, "How? What are you doing? Like, I did not expect this to go how it did."
No.
So,
And for those of you that don't know, this is Joe Benitez, who failed to introduce himself, so I'll do it for him.
oh, hey, yeah.
He's also one of those people that have been behind the scenes for a while and helping us do things. And he's helped with our logos and redesign and switching from tattoo podcast collecting, tattoo collecting podcast
the TCP
to
tattoo collecting
101.
Which is
Because
the first one.
podcast was kind of misleading because like we were gonna be a podcast
Yeah,
and then we
'cause now
just
there's
went
fucking cameras.
well we just went video right away.
Yeah, it was
we
bad.
like
I wasn't ready for that.
we like skipped a few steps.
No one
and
called the
so
makeup artist.
I mean, there's video podcasts, so it's all
yeah,
right.
yeah, there are, but like
But
you know.
typically there's an audio podcast to go
Right,
with
yeah.
it.
That's usually the number one.
We started with people caring. We did the opposite. We're like, they need to see us, or this isn't going to make sense. Everything we're talking about is visual.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it was a natural
it's a
progression.
podcast that is revolving around tattoos and tattoo culture, and that is a very visual kind of thing. So
I am going to have to switch this chair because every time it pops, my heart stops.
yeah,
It's this real weird thing.
I just realized
I'm not
that
a
Joe
big
put
fan.
on Ben's headphones too with the
I
long
wasn't
cord
gonna- I
as
wasn't
you
gonna-
tipped back.
I wasn't going to kick him out of my seat.
You're just gonna
I
swippity
want you
swap
leftovers.
all together.
I want you
Just
leftovers.
swippity swapping.
You made your decisions, man. I'm happy that you made them.
baby, come back.
You can
Do,
let
do,
go.
We get musical now. That happens. You guys know Ben. He's been with us forever. Tattoo collector extraordinaire. We know Todd. Todd also. I just want to say on air, I knew some of the things I wanted to do this past weekend with the show and like some things I wanted to try. And Todd, you were fantastic. You were my shadow 50% of the time, and the other 50% of the time I was your shadow. And I think that worked out fantastic. And it makes me so optimistic about like future ideas. So I just want to say I really appreciate how much help you were. That was awesome. Awesome of you to be there.
It's a fun time this weekend.
We got to
definitely
meet
was.
Tony this weekend.
Huh?
Met all kinds of people this weekend.
Yeah,
Because people were like, hey. And I'm like, hi, I don't know you.
it was like people overload this weekend.
It was. It was.
Ben, can you
Yes.
talk to us about your shirt a little bit?
What? I
What?
mean, this one?
Oh,
The captain?
the
He's
captain.
fucking man. First of all, can I start there? When I saw him on the first day wearing maple stripe bibs, I knew we were going to be best friends. I also own a pair of maple stripe bibs that I've enjoyed for quite some time now. To find another human that also enjoys that made me smile. And then just to find out that he was an amazing human being on top of that was just like, oh, can I crawl in your pocket and just live there? I want to hang out. Can
Yeah.
I just, where are you going next? Do you need me to carry your t-shirts? Because like I'm in.
He
Do
and
you-
Mabel are
Do
great.
you want me to set the tent up? What do you need from me, sir? I'm fucking sold. The fact that they take a minute in every show to take a statement of acceptance, which was, he got me both times. I'm sitting at the camera crying like, yeah, you're right. I love these freaks, man. I do. But both times he touched my soul, like, because he's preaching what we're all there for. We're all there for camaraderie. We're all there for brotherhood, family, that vibe, that this is my people. This is where I'm allowed to express myself to the fullest limit with zero judgment, zero shame, zero animosity, and a place just to be your fucking self and be accepted. It doesn't happen everywhere.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen at Kroger. That doesn't happen you know what I mean? Like that's a feeling of total freedom that's so hard to find. And we don't recognize that enough. We don't get a chance to step back and realize that it's truly special to be around that many people that are like-minded, same energy, focused on the same thing, all focused on positivity. And everyone that was at that show has said the exact same thing. I haven't heard one person that was like, well, I was kind of pissed off. No one. Every single person I've talked to has been like, amazing show. Everybody there was in the right mind frame, blah, 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 blah.
And you know what? From like a worker's perspective too, like you were great. Like you were killing it all weekend. Like whatever Derb needed, like you were the guy, right?
I was just there.
But like also like outside of that, you'd come up to me and be like, yo, this needs to happen really quick. I'm like, fucking say less. I'm on my way. That's how like the whole weekend was, where like something needed done, it got done. Nobody was like, but
there's no time for but us, and we don't bring people that don't understand that. We're in the wings, as to speak, most of the time. But I really enjoyed the Captain and Maybo. I really enjoyed the message that they brought, the sincerity that they brought, and not to mention the top level show that they brought.
Aren't they great?
I've seen a jabillion freak shows. I've seen a million side acts. I am a circus advocate. And to see them do it, and not just do it, but do it right. It was a production. It was well done. They did everything raw, live, and original. And that fucking blew me away.
I have seen them probably
pumped.
Dozens of times, literally dozens of times. And every time I have to stop and watch, like even this weekend where I'd have to run down to the reinventing room, or I'd have to like run across and do something, or I'd have to like find somebody, or like whatever the situation was, like I just have to stop for just a moment and like kind of take them in. Like they're just so sweet and so filthy at the same time. I love it.
Those were some of my favorite pictures that I took this weekend too. Was of them. Like I got the one of his, like when he clipped the things into his eyeballs and had the bucket with the brick inside of it.
Oh, I caught that for a second when I was getting tattooed. I was like peeking over. I was like, oh, never mind. I'll go back there.
See it on my screen in HD, just like zoomed in. I'm just
that's
like,
awesome.
Oh.
Yes, please. And give it to me, baby.
So we just had Matt join us a moment ago. Matt Clemmer, he gave a seminar at Hell City. We just kind of like went through the panel and kind of introduced ourselves real quick. If you'd like to take a moment and introduce yourself.
Well, sure. Thank you for the invite, Fawn.
Thanks for joining us, Matt.
Yes, you beautiful fucking people. I love you all.
What's up, brother? Good to see you again.
My goodness. So, yeah, I had the honor of teaching 2 seminars this year. One on Friday, one on Sunday. Some of you may know, on Saturday had the honor of being one of the judges on the main stage. So that was just personal wins and beautiful in its own right. And these days, even Durbin told me like, oh man, seminars aren't like what they used to. Almost was trying to like, make sure that I was sure, like not to expect the whole lot. They were like, if you get 3 people, it's considered good. And they were blown away that I almost had a packed house on Friday and Sunday. So that was huge. The art form of tattooing is what brings us all together. But deeper than that, I think the ultimate reward is this art form of building relationships and getting to know one another, and who you are and how you show up in the world, what you bring to the table. And I'm lucky enough to attract people into my life these days who, 1, truly care, B, that we just want to love and support one another, realizing that there's really no such thing as competition. It's a full-time job, me just trying to be the best of me that I can be. And how can we like continue to support one another? And so and it seemed like Hell City this year was like a love fest. It was like blanketed with love and support,
Mhm.
you
That's
know,
exactly what
which,
we just heard
Yep.
from.
oh my God. And it was so beautiful. You could almost cut it, you know, and the fact that I got to be there to witness that, partake in that, and also contribute to that spirit,
Absolutely.
was a real true honor. And then even getting to, even run into Fawn on stage. And even though I've adored her and known of her from a distance over the years, this year I actually personally got to meet her, which I think has even led to my invitation here right in this moment. Again, back to building relationships, you know. And
That's
so
that's the beauty of these events.
grateful.
It's the networking. It's
Yeah.
it's bringing
It
the new
is.
people into your circle and accepting that love from other people that you didn't have a chance to before. Because every new
on.
person's another taproot, and every new taproot's another path. It's just an
That's
amazing to bring that many like-minded people together, to have that availability of awesomeness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, brother. And I think a lot of people desire that. I don't know if you guys can relate to this, because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've desired it, but can you relate to, it's the things you say you've been wanting, the people you want to get to know, the things you want to happen in your life, until they actually start to happen, then you get fucking scared, like, oh God, it's happening, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, my friend.
It's
Well,
beautiful.
you're almost
though.
ashamed or almost astonished that you actually were able to cultivate that. And most
My
people don't
gosh.
realize that that's your brain's job. It's pulling in those signals. It's
Yeah.
seeking the information that you're looking for,
Yeah.
and it hones
Mhm.
in to find it. Like
Yeah.
that's what it does. So like if
Yeah.
you are asking for it, be ready for it, and don't be shocked when it
Man.
happens.
No
Ooh,
shit.
and don't
And
be
even-
shocked when it happens. That's a good one,
It's
Ben.
the
on.
shock that people aren't ready for. Oh wait,
Well, and
this is
check
what I
it.
wanted. Now what do I
Yep.
do?
Yeah, that was
And
kind of how I felt at the end of the weekend, because it was like I've been trying to get in, and it's like finally meeting all the people that I've been talking to online and just seeing everyone in person. It's like, it felt like I've been here the whole time, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's real now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
And guess
we've
what?
we've had a lot of new members join our team here at Red Tree, and some of them had never been to Health City before. And because we had like the
Wow.
pandemic and everything shut down for 2 years, we've had a 3-year gap in
Yeah.
between. So this is
Mm.
like some of our team members, that was their inaugural Health City, and it was a pretty epic show. Like I think our crowd was like exceptionally excited. We talk all the time about how Health City in particular is like such a family reunion of a
Mhm.
show. And I think this year it was just like exponentially magic, because we were all looking forward to it, and we've all like wanted to be there. And I think we've, at least the people close to me, I think we've all been kind of like refreshed. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what we work so hard every year for.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that's what keeps everybody excited. And that's what keeps us excited.
Well, the level of
Yeah.
burnout's not there as well. Everybody's gotten a chance to not have that vigorous travel schedule and not have been living in a hotel
We
for the
appreciate it
whole
again.
season. And you're like, oh yes, let's hit the highlights. You're not
Mhm.
bummed about hotel food. You're pumped about you're eating shitty hotel food with somebody you haven't seen in a few years.
Yeah.
So it's the I don't know. My words are getting in the way of my brain.
you nailed it though, Fawn. I think people showed up with extra gratitude for it because we haven't had it.
Right.
You know.
Yep. I've definitely sat in conversations where, you're sitting outside smoking and people are just complaining about their grueling travel schedule. And this time it was like, man, I've just missed this so much. I used to be burnt out by it, but like, I can't wait for the next show. I can't wait for this. I can't wait. And it's just really cool. Can you flip your camera for us, Matt? There we go. But I just think in the conversations that I was listening to, like everybody's just excited to be able to travel. Like it's a
Right.
luxury to travel again, and it's a privilege to travel again instead of a chore.
Right.
And I think that's the difference. Like people have been looking forward to this. It's not just another weekend that was on their schedule. It's like something that's finally kind of like come to fruition. And it's like everything that like every little thing that we get back is like a whole nother step towards like normal.
Right.
And then like on top of that normal, we have a layer of gratitude we didn't have 3 years ago.
Right.
Starting with the even fucking be here, because none of us were promised that there wouldn't be storms in life. right? We were
Right.
just promised the peace and the strength to get through them. And with the past few years, I think the storms have hit all of our houses, right? And the storms hit my home big time. And it's been the most painful and trying times, but the greatest lessons and gifts have been birthed out of it. You know, my whole life changed almost a year ago when the storm hit our house, i.e., COVID. I'm a father of 3, and my wife, we all got COVID, went through it fine, except for my wife has become almost completely paralyzed ever since. So I am now home health aide for my wife and take care of my 3 children, and have only done 1 tattoo this year. And so oftentimes when we experience unpleasantry in life, talk about the brain, we go into survival mode. Let's hunker down. Let's get her better. Once the storm passes, once this is behind us, then we'll get back to living again. But what do you do when that day does not come? Who do you become in the midst of the storm? You know, the ancient scripture says the light shines in the dark. Although the dark sees it not, the light is still there. And there's been some dark times where it didn't seem like there was any light, where even I had to decide, well, then I shall be the light today, you know?
Yep.
But anyways, it's been real tough, real painful, but also we've been many gifts and lessons and huge doses of what the fuck really matters and all the shit that usually takes us out. And I feel like the past few years has purged a lot of that shit out of us so that we can show up and realize this ain't your practice life, and 1 foot in gratitude, 1 foot in desire, and starting with, we got a lot to be thankful for that we're even fucking here, you know.
Yes,
Wow.
sir.
Thanks for coming.
Man,
Thanks for coming.
Came in strong. Yeah, came in strong.
Yeah,
I love it.
You need to call TED Talk.
That's
you need
amazing.
You need to get your own thing, man. That was great.
Absolutely.
I'm fired up. I don't even know what I'm gonna go do right now.
No, I love it. It's so refreshing to hear other people have that kind of mindset, especially with, like you said, that's tragic. And to still come out with what you just said on the roll is amazing to me. It's super inspirational, man. Like, that's awesome.
And when you look at it that way, this is bigger than us. This is bigger than tattoos. We have the honor of getting to be a part of the rest of people's lives and the impact in the relationship. Yes, I'm going to do a dope piece on your shin rocker today, but who are you? What have you been brought through? Where are you at today? And where are you going? I.e. the relationship. This ain't our practice life. In case that whole reincarnation thing don't quite work out, this might be the only shot we got. Let's fucking get it. You know?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Man.
Yeah, man, I love it. That's the truth. And so many people forget to focus on their happiness first and making sure that their shit's taken care of and being positive and spilling over into everybody else's lives. Like it's tough.
Well, and you know what though, because something I've had to learn a whole new level of surrender. Right. And I'm always accused of being the positive guy, because I am. But people get it twisted thinking I must not have any problems. Quite the opposite. Pain has been such a great fucking teacher. Pain has taught me love. Pain has taught me the gratitude. Pain has taught me the positivity because of all of the negativity. You know what I'm saying? It makes it even more fucking real.
Right.
You know?
I can relate to that. I mean,
come on, Todd.
Well, I can, because I had a horrible car accident 28 years ago, and my son had severe brain damage from it. So he requires 24-hour care. So, you know, we've been doing that for 28 years now with him, you know, but, you know, tragedy like that could be horrible for people, and it is. It's a shitty thing to have to go through, but you also have to be positive in what you do, or, you know, you go crazy. You have to have a positive outlook in life to get through it. You definitely have to.
Especially with that kind of longevity. I mean, you just said it was how 28 years ago. Like that's amazing. I can't imagine having that kind of day to day. Yeah, like you're a fucking angel, both of you. Like I don't know how else to put it. Like I wouldn't have the mental fortitude to do that. And you guys are like, oh no, you're thrust into it. It's your choice. It's what you have to do. But like, no. There's a lot of people that are lesser human beings that would again, crumble under those circumstances. It's amazing.
Ben, you have children, right, Ben?
Yeah, I got a daughter.
Yeah, trust me. If something came down to something like this, you'd have the fortitude for it. It's your child, you know.
Right.
It's just something that's, you know, um, I don't want to say stuck because it's not. It's the love of your child.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
that's what it is.
It sure is. And that same love we can have for one another, even in the industry, who we are as tattooers. And again, I hope you guys are realizing this is bigger than that. As human beings on the planet, just
Right.
having an impact. And the people that come to your chair, may not be in other people's chairs. You know what I'm saying? In other organizations. But they're coming to you, and we give them a place of refuge, a place of healing. We help increase people's self-esteem. Like in so many ways, we actually can touch and impact the world and do. But is our awareness? Do we even realize how much? And I feel like, the other day, I think it was Tuesday night, Russ Abbott had a call. Fawn was on there, and she was speaking of a sense of a renaissance and like shifts happening in our industry, starting with our own head and our own hearts, right, Fawn?
Pretty much, yeah. Yep. It was crazy that Russ showed up, by the way, like just to like hopscotch in.
Say hey.
Yeah, Russ wasn't even working this weekend.
Nope.
I was like, what are you doing here?
Oh.
I thought you weren't going to be here. And he's like, well, Beth and I were sitting there and I looked at my schedule and realized I had the weekend off. This was Friday. And since he had the weekend off, didn't have anything scheduled, they hopped a plane and headed up to Columbus to hang out and play with
I
us.
saw him walking in and just gave him the.
Russ texted me. He's like, hey, Fawn, do you think it'd be possible to arrange a tour at Red Tree? And I was getting ready to head in for the day. And I was like, I mean, do you want to do it like later on or like now? He was like, now would be fine. And I was like, well, I'll just swoop you up out at the valet. So I brought Russ Abbott and Beth and my 20-year-old van all the way to Red Tree. And Russ was like, and mind you, I only have like the bench seat in the back and it's folded down into a bed. So I got to turn it into a seat for them.
we've been hauling gear in it.
Yeah. But Russ was like, it's been a while since I've been in a van of this vintage. Love Russ's word choice. It's just his word choice and delivery is just impeccable. I love it.
Choice phrasing.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Like I feel like it brought back some memories, but
Yes.
I didn't know that he
but
went
yeah.
in your van, Fawn. Holy cow. That's awesome.
oh yeah. I gave Russ Abbott
The
a ride in the Creeper van. Now it's a thing. Now it's an initiation. Everybody's got to go for a ride in the Creeper van.
Well, that's something I was speaking to earlier of things you want to happen. And then when they do, it scares the hell out of you. Example, I've never met Russ Abbott until this weekend. And I woke up Saturday morning from a DM from Russ Abbott saying, hey, man, I'm coming to Hell City and I just signed up for your seminar. Really looking forward to meeting you. Right. So immediately I got fucking nervous. I already was. What an honor. Now I got the Russ Abbott is coming to meet me and take my seminar. And again, that's an example of something I've been working towards. And now that it's happening is like, oh shit, right? And I showed up and did what I do, hoping, because I'm human, I have insecurities, right? Hoping he's digging it, hoping he's feeling it, right? But it wasn't till afterwards. And then he took me out in the hall, shook my hand and told me how amazing it was. And he asked me for my phone number because he wants to build together. Right? Just blew my mind. But again, what an honor.
I love that the new concept is let's work together. And
come on.
Yeah.
Even like I'm not a tattooer. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm just a collector. I happen to be involved with a lot of art projects and know a lot of artists, don't get me wrong, but to see the level of camaraderie change in the past 10 years is insane to me, and to watch the levels just stack and stack and stack and stack and stack. It's a product of that sharing, and it's so fucking cool to see.
Yeah. Yep, it really is. It's kind of funny. I was actually, so not every morning, but at least a few mornings a week, I'll like FaceTime my mom for like an hour or so, and we'll like talk about family gossip and what have you. But today we were talking about Hell City, and we were just like just talking about how the weekend was, and I was telling her that we got to sit in on that panel with Russ as he's launching his new Launchpad community. And I was like, it's really crazy to just be able to sit on a panel of people that I look up to as peers, as colleagues. It's pretty crazy to like come to those places.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
like just it's almost like a surreal feeling of gratitude.
Yes. Yeah. And it
I'm
speaks
also-
to who you are, Fawn. The fact that you were invited to that panel speaks to who you are, honey, and that you were supposed to be there. You deserve to be there.
Thank you.
Right.
And after me knowing you the little I do, it's like, of course, Fawn's here. Of course. Yeah.
What were you gonna
Guys,
say, Joe?
for those of you
No.
watching, do you want to touch on what that Launchpad was? Because I was there and stuff, and I don't know if everybody's really familiar with what that is.
You were listening a little bit more closely. I had to like jump away and was multitasking.
Sure. So
Um,
it's in its beginning stages, and it's in the in the beginning stages. It's still bringing vision. That's why Russ had a call Tuesday night and invited a select few of heavy hitters and badasses and people that he respects because he wanted their feedback, and he had him and his team kind of present the foundation right now, but wanted us on as feedback to maybe fill in holes and to see our place in it and how we can help serve the community. But really, in short, what we've created, again, is called Launchpad, and it's off any social media platform. It's going to be on a platform called Circle, and it's almost like going to be kind of like a private educational membership for not only tattoo artists to come and have a community to really connect with on a deeper level. They got a slew of topics from art to business to personal development that you can go and get fed, but also certain artists that specialize in any of those topics or categories, like myself, will show up and be presenters in it as well. And so I just love the man's heart, his vision. Speaking of unity, how we can bring more artists together and really all level up and support one another together. So that's the vision. It's still in the beginning stages. I want to have a future meeting with him and his team on what it could look like on even a deeper level. But ultimately, is how can we serve one another better?
Mm-hmm. One of the things I kind of and this is my opinion. So like, don't quote this. This is not anybody's mission statement or anything like that. But in my opinion, the way that the place that I feel like this platform that Russ is launching, the position that I think this is going to have in the community is where we already have the reinventing community. Like, let's say you're a shop owner and you've got your entire staff already on the reinventing platform and they're already signed up for the Canon and they're already taking all of these lessons. You as the shop owner and maybe like your strongest artists might want to get onto the Launchpad platform to kind of level up. You know, when you're at that point in your career where you're ready to contribute useful input back, or you're at the point where you're ready to start trading new innovative ideas, I think that's the audience that Launchpad is appropriate for. I think everybody that wants to join it who is a tattooer or an artist is going to be able to learn. But I think if we were to call reinventing would be like the educational course, where I think what Russ is trying to do with Launchpad is to take all of that education and culminate it into what are we going to do with it next. And I feel like that's what I feel like Russ is trying to do with it. Like all the things that everybody's been already learning together with this community that's formed through the tattoo community and through platforms like Reinventing. I think he's trying to like, okay, now that everybody's leveling it up and everybody's coming to this new place where we all want to contribute something and we all want to, let's come together and push, let's do it. So it's almost like he's kind of like, all right, we're all coming to this precipice. Somebody's got to take the reins and get us all communicating and organized and bettering one another and teaching the next lessons that we're going to teach the people that are looking at us. I feel like that's what Russ is trying to do, is just give the leaders of the community their own little community forum to build and grow and strengthen and network. And I think it's going to be crucial. I think what we see over the next year from the work that Russ and Brittany and Forrest and John are doing is going to change the industry so much. And I think it's going to give us a lot of power. It's going to give all of our voices as artists, if we're all coming together and we're all combining our education and we're all combining our experience and we're all combining our business knowledge, we're going to be an unstoppable force.
Yes. Yes. Love it, Fawn. Love it. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little excited about it.
Come
It's
on,
like
girl,
it's a
I
new
love
like
it.
it's a
Woo,
next
go.
level thing.
Let's go.
It's kind of been the theme, man. Everybody's coming together. Everybody's just being like, fuck it, pedal down.
Yeah.
Pedal down. Like, let's see what we can do. We've
It-
got new technologies, we've got new equipment, we've got
Mhm.
new machines, we've got new inks, we've got new capabilities. Fuck it. All hats in.
Yep.
I love it. I'm kind of mad I got too many tattoos.
We're gonna have to start tucking little tiny micro tattoos in between on the in-betweens. You're pretty wall-to-wall covered. You don't, I mean, other than the spaces that like we've talked about, you're covered well.
We're getting there.
We're
I
gonna
see
have to creep
progress.
onto that neck. We haven't even done the armpit yet, and you're like, back off my neck.
Yeah, we got some things planned first. There's some
Fair.
layers. to
That's fair.
this.
We got a lot of ways to
Yeah,
go.
let's baby steps. Talk about my neck.
I was talking to that guy that was at Hell City this weekend. I think his name was Jay. I think you had an interview with
Jay
him.
Grimmy.
Yeah, the one that got his armpit tattooed.
Yep.
Yeah, I was,
We
Oh,
love
yeah.
Jay. He's
Yeah.
great.
he's
We
cool. I
love
was chatting
Jay.
with him a
Jay's a
little
great
bit.
guy.
Yeah, I was chatting with him a little bit afterwards because I was telling him about how you told me when you were doing the back of my arm back here. He's like, Fawn was like, that's just like the same as the rest of the armpit. So if you want to get your armpit tattooed, we can totally do it.
It doesn't get worse.
And I was like, yeah, no.
Pain is relative. It's all about mindset and what you had for lunch. Pain is relative.
Yeah.
It's a very close relative of mine when I'm being tattooed.
Yeah, mine too. You tattooed me. I am an avid complainer. I don't
So-
like that. Stop.
So speaking of Jay, do you guys want to talk about the competitions a little bit?
Yeah.
So there is
They made my brain.
there's a biomech category at Hell City. There's not always a biomech category. Todd, do you remember? Do you remember the three guys that won?
Oh, I don't. The third place dude, I don't know his name. They introduced me as
Jim. It's Jim.
Jim. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Jim
So
Renda.
there's Forrest, there's Jay, and then Jim. The bio boys swept it
Yep.
all.
Oh, I'm so excited for him. And like, that's the way it should. I'm just glad that it happened to go down that way. That's the way I think. I mean, they've all been working so hard on their collections over the past few
Yeah.
years. They've really been patient. They've really sought out good artists. I know they're spending an arm and a leg to get this good money. These good tattoos. They're traveling. Hats off to them. They deserve to win it. I
They did.
think it's great that they took 1, 2, and 3 like that too. They also run a social media page together, which is even cooler. Like, all right, you guys know how to collect bio work. We'll listen to you.
Yeah. So what you're saying is we should invite them cumulatively
Yeah.
on together. They can do their panel and we'll do our panel.
So here's the
Zoomy
thing.
Zoom.
So I need you guys to remind me sometimes to
Fine.
do bio stuff
Do
because
bios.
I'm partial to bio and I don't want to overdo it. Therefore, I almost never bring up bio in conversations like of people we should have on. But like when you want to have a bio panel, we can have a bio panel. But like I said, I just don't want to overdo it. Because
Fine.
like,
Fine.
I don't think we have.
so we should have a bio panel soon.
If you want to do that,
The
We
last
should- you know
bio
who
panel
we-
you
we
had
should
was
do?
awesome. Seriously.
You know who
see.
we should get all the guys we had on last time. We should get more. Who'd we have? We had Ty. Did Ty join us? Ty joined us, right?
I was.
Was it
Yep, he did.
Adam? Yep, Ty,
Ryan Geckel.
Adam, and Geckel. And then we did Jay bounce in as well? Jay Grimmy?
I
I
think
think
he
he
was
joined us
there,
for the
and maybe even
episode.
Forrest too.
Yep, I think
Yeah,
Forrest.
Forrest
Yep,
did.
I think that's it. I think we had the two collectors. maybe Blade too. I can't remember. Blade joined us a lot early on. And Blade, we got to get Blade on. Have you seen his bio work now? He's got so much of that, like the Japanese bio fusion from Kevin Stress, that it's just taken on a life of its own. That man is being consumed with like this Japo horror mech. It's fantastic. Like I would never
That was
imagine
an amazing word. Can you say it again?
Japo horror mech.
I like that. That's
How
good.
can we coin that and get 3% on anybody that's ever going to use it again, please?
I
Because
think
that's
I
It
just,
amazing.
needs to
Put
be a
some
shirt.
royalties on every tattoo.
Copyright.
That needs to be a shirt.
Copyright.
we just
100%.
take one of his, like a
You can buy it
segment
from
of
us.
one of his tattoos and turn it into a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
Big fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and pull that up and screen share it.
Yeah, I
I
want
want
to
to
see what that
getting
looks
fancy with the computers.
I'll try. Now that
I'm,
Kyle's in town,
I'm not
we
gonna lie.
should have him sitting next to us so he can be like on the fly, ready to screen share.
I'd be down.
I am the least knowledgeable in bio. I know the least about it.
Yeah.
My collection is super traditional. So I don't really I would love to be educated, for lack of a better term. And to be immersed in that crowd, you ain't gonna do nothing but get an education. So
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'm in.
I just love it. It's such a beautiful abstract form.
Yeah.
You can get literally whatever you want out of it.
Right.
I got my arm done here, and it's just like this whole like space whale, cosmic space
Yeah.
whale kind of shit. But it's like you just go in with a basic concept, and then there it is.
Whoop. There it is. No,
I don't think I've ever seen your arms before today.
Yeah, no, I've had like 5-ish sessions. We're almost there. I got like 2 or 3 more, but I put some good work into it over the past couple of years.
Who's doing that for you?
His name's Dave Barton out in Camarillo.
Good
California.
choice. Nice.
Yeah. I fucking, because I was born out there as well. So it was like he was the local artist, but man, his work compared to everything else out there is just amazing. Top notch.
It's nice when you fall into the right circle, isn't
I know,
it?
yeah. Yeah, that's because I was getting tattooed by him, and then that's kind of how I started to learn more about everything. So it was a nice little starting point.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
So this is Blade's work that I was describing a minute ago. That's like Japo
wow.
horror mech, right?
Wow.
Like that's
Yeah.
a pretty good on the fly
Yeah.
description, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'll be really interested to hear this panel, just because same thing. I'm pretty uneducated, but I've been talking to Jordan about what area of my body I'm gonna give to him, and I know that he's really good at that kind of stuff too. So I was thinking about that, but I know nothing about it. I don't even know what to look for.
Wow. Fawn, it's funny that you called it that, because when I was at a show, maybe in like California or something, I met an artist who specializes in Geo-Jap. I was like, I never even heard of that. And you specialize in it?
I put it on a sign once. I made it mine.
Well, like
Hey,
what
call it
would
whatever
you
you want.
describe that? Like, what is his name? Like Pitta KM, or what is it? Pitta Kim? One that does like the almost like from South Korea, but they do like the almost Japanese traditional style, but it's like all of like the colored outlines and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like what would you call that? That's incredible.
A next level.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's stuff that like it just doesn't fit in a genre. And I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what I've always aimed for. Like if you can't fit me in with another group of artists, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it.
I believe
Who we're
you.
talking about.
I believe you.
It's like
Hey, real quick, Fawn,
PI.
I just got a text from Mr. Abbott. He's
Nice.
been watching this show.
Yeah,
And,
what's up, Russ?
Should I send him the link?
I don't know. He did just say he's got to hop off and run, but he just hopped on and found it funny right when he hopped on that we were all talking about him. So I think that blessed him. And so I asked him like, well,
Perfection.
yeah. And I was like, man,
Talk about sending your vibe out and catching it.
Yeah.
come
Perfect.
on.
Perfect example.
Damn. Yeah. And so I was like, Russ, is there anything you'd like for me to say on your behalf? And he responded, just tell Fawn that I think she just nailed it in the way she just positioned Launchpad.
Perfect.
Well, thank you very much, Russ.
I agree too, 100%.
Yes.
Man, that's that. You want to talk about proof in the pudding?
Yeah.
Like,
Universe was like, Russ, tune in.
hey, bud, you're talking much.
Guys, I'm a manifester for real. So are you,
I mean,
though. So are you.
I think I was just gonna say, I think we're a whole group of them.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happened to me this weekend too. I was talking with Jake. I was like, yeah, I'd love to get tattooed by Bruno sometime. And then Saturday, he's like, do you want to get this design? I was like, oh,
Well, yeah.
let's do it. Sure.
Yep.
My wallet's a little thin, but we'll do it.
We'll
You
figure it
guys know
out.
something really special about manifestation that I think really kind of is the pinnacle of what Launchpad is that when you have a group of people who are collectively focusing on the same thing, manifestation is a no-brainer. And that's one of the cool things about the Launchpad or about reinventing is that the focus is primarily the same. You know, and we can get powerful things done together.
Yeah.
Love it.
Come on,
Yep.
Lauren.
Instead of
Combined
competing
energy.
with one another and like hiding our secrets and hiding our tricks, it's like we've finally as a community grown up enough to realize that we get a lot further if we all paddle the boat the same direction.
Well, I mean,
Like our paddles can be shaped different
have you ever
and we
been
can
into
wave
a-
them around differently, but if we're all going the same
Right.
direction.
Here we go. You ever walked into a bar and know that there's going to be a fight?
Yeah.
You ever walked into a concert and every single person there was a fan and they were on the same beat, their
Oh.
head was in the same bob,
That's
they were
feeling.
in the same groove, everybody was in that tight.
Mhm.
There is no energy like that. That's why
Absolutely.
sporting events work. That's why it's literally what connects every single human being in the world. You want to talk about tribal fucking drums? It's what brought everybody together to the beginning to put us all on the same beat, pattern, wavelength, focus of energy. If we can do that as a group of not just business people, but lovers of the art, the levels are endless.
Yeah.
There's each other are stair steps instead of stones to climb over. It's just an amazing thought to have that this many people can focus and just skyrocket. Like,
And what's great about it too is that it's also a community that allows people like you and I who we're not tattooers,
everybody.
but
just
we're
hanging out.
able to be directly involved and see how the sausage is made and all that shit. And it's so cool because this was my first Hell City and this was my second expo ever. And my first one was Motor City with you and I was in your chair.
Mhm.
And so like I didn't really get to experience that one, but like actually being there for this, it was just absolutely wild seeing like the community and how crazy and how hyped everybody was. And like
Mhm.
it's crazy. It's a good place to be.
So it's just occurring to me that so this was your second convention. How do you think? Tell me why you enjoyed Hell City more.
I couldn't this is funny.
Loaded question.
If anything went wrong, I couldn't tell. Because like I've been in bands, I've been on stage, and it's like one of those things where it's like if the crowd only knows that you made a mistake if you let them know.
Yeah.
You let them
You're drifting.
know.
Not
My
getting
bad.
loud.
My bad. The crowd only knows that you made a mistake if you let them know that you made a mistake, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember what it was, but I remember just at one point like experiencing something like that at other kinds of events and stuff. And at Hell City, I mean, I was on call to go do shit. Like if shit had to go down, I was there to take care of it. And to the best of my knowledge, nothing like that.
Nothing went down.
Our problems are all in house and we design it that
Yeah.
way.
No, it was-
It's an amazing
Yeah.
flow.
City's
Yeah,
a-
it was chill and exciting.
It's
So
it's a well-oiled machine. Hell City is.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
those guys are just right on point. That whole crew that gets it together.
Yeah, I want to shout some
people that
people out
run
while we're
it.
talking about how good the team is. We've had our buddy Brian Midkiff
Yeah.
on the show before. He's got the
Brian's-
huge Beatles piece and
Love
all
it.
the new school collection on his leg. He just got tattooed by Ty all day yesterday. He's a
Nice.
trooper. But Brian is an incredibly integral part of the show. Like
Absolutely.
Hell City would not go as smoothly as it does. Like the physical things that need done in the order of operations, if not for Brian. He does so much. And then his like right hand man is Nick. I can't think of Herdman, Nick Herdman. I couldn't think of his last name.
No,
So Nick Herdman, he's also a tattooer. They are just on the ball when it comes to like they're controlling and running all of the electric for everybody. They are running all the AV. They're running it's complicated. Like just setting up this little setup is pretty complicated. So if we have like 16 cameras all over the place, automated lights, laser shows, Hell City dancing on the wall in all these different places, cued at different times, like, and then on 2 floors.
Yes.
And then let's add the sound on top of that,
Yeah.
Yes.
which is actually like a curated playlist that Derb has put together to kind of like keep the crowd at an ebb and flow.
And can we take a moment to recognize there was a vibe that was established and it was great. There's a solid playlist. We didn't have any misses. There were no skips.
Yeah, you know what? Like I was walking around downstairs and I was like, there's some really banger shit on right now. There was also there was a little bit of everything though too. So that way it wasn't just nonstop, but it was primarily.
There'd be
And I
a-
fucking loved it.
There's gonna Be some metal and then some
Yes,
city in
yeah.
color, and you just be like, all right, I'll come back down.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all
I
right,
see,
here you,
I see.
Dirk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's funny how it's just funny how much it takes to make all of those things just work seamlessly.
No one
And
would
Brian
believe this
and
if we
Nick
told you
are
we brought 2 full-size trucks full of stage and aviary gear.
it's
That's
crazy.
it. Stage and aviary gear. That's it. 2
So
full
then
trucks.
outside of them, there's obviously Derb, but we talk about Derb all the time. Jules.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Jules is awesome. She's the one where when artists are corresponding and organizing and asking questions and getting their questions answered, and it's Jules. It's that's all Jules. She's fantastic. So like these are like there's Derb on top of the tripod, but those are the 3 legs that I think are the most crucial in making Hell City go as smoothly as it does. And then on top of that, we've got Ben, who is anywhere and everywhere. Like I think outside of those 3 people, Ben's probably the only person that can do every one of their, well, not Jules, but all of the other
no one
jobs.
can do Jules's job.
Yeah.
Jules is actually Hell City's manager. She handles everything.
Yeah.
She handles everything from the smallest detail to the biggest project all year, every year. She puts more into that show than any of us other than Derb. And her work is, it needs to go noted because
Yeah.
she slays all day, every day.
She's
And
fantastic.
also, while we're
was.
talking about Jules, you know, the super comfortable tattoo pillow that I have,
Mhm.
I have
Also
2 of
made by
them.
her.
They're like chopped up memory foam. So like when they get squished, they'll like fluff to their original shape, and they're like kind of heavy. You could beat somebody with them, so they stay. Jules actually makes all of those by hand as well. So like buy the Jules pillows. They're great. Also, something that she does that other people that make tattoo furniture do not do, because she's reupholstered tattoo furniture. She actually uses like materials that will hold up to the maticide and capicide and wavicide and all the heavy duty chemicals that we're using. So you won't have to buy another pillow because it's gotten cracked and all the stuff is falling off. You're going to buy another pillow because you want it in a different size.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I've done. Like I've got them in different sizes and different like colors because
Right.
I'm weird, but yeah, so just throwing an extra nod out there for
There's
Jules. She's pretty
Jules.
magic.
Yeah, she handles anything and everything all weekend. Every problem that comes up, every printer that runs out of toner, she's on it. Every single little detail she orchestrates, and we all love her. And she does it with a calm head, a cool face, and a smile, and super fucking pregnant.
Yep.
So
It just was a trooper all weekend. And I my love, respect, and admiration goes out to her. every
Yep.
day.
yeah, she was absolutely wonderful.
I can't say enough about her.
All of the Red Tree artists came and helped.
Yep.
Everybody
Yep.
was part of the crew this year, which
That
was
had a lot
awesome.
to do with it going so smooth, because when something needed to be done, there was backup. We could be like, hey.
It was kind of like this is our house.
Yeah.
We're gonna take
Mhm.
care of this
Yep.
house.
It's exactly how we all feel about
Yeah.
it. So
Yep.
it's a fun experience to be involved in.
We had a little crew of people come over from Dayton from 33 Lions.
Yep.
Yeah.
They were excellent.
Yep.
Tear down. They were like, I don't know where their energy came from. Like they were just on it.
It was pizza.
Oh, it was the
It
pizza.
was the pizza.
It was the food. They
It was
ate food.
It was the.
Is that what it
pizza.
was? Okay.
Yeah.
Man, there's a lot of like helpers that like are definitely
Mike,
worth
Chef
mentioning.
Mike.
Chef
Big
Mike. Yep.
Chef
Adam
Mike was there
Rogers.
all day, every day. Adam
Mhm.
Rogers is there helping out. The countless amount of door people that run the door every year.
Oh, Kelly B.
who slays at admission with Jasmine.
And Cassie.
Cassie, who runs all the merch stuff, correct?
Kelly's dog.
Cassie.
Cassie.
Who's there? The merch people are from out of town as well.
I don't know them.
I did not have time to introduce myself to them this weekend. And then Jess, who runs all the True Tube stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And all these people
She
not
killed
only doing their own job, help carry stuff, load in, load out, move this, move that, be responsive, send the command up or down the chain, which direction it needed to go. And it was a sense of responsibility that everybody shared. And having that many hands makes heavy work light. And it's just nice to be able to have that kind of backup. You don't get that anymore.
More hands, less work.
Morgan,
Yeah.
Logan, and Sid,
Well,
I
it
think
is.
were the most on the ball ever this year, especially Sid. Sid was
Logan and Sid
really,
were unstoppable this
yeah,
year.
they were really on in years past. So Sid is Derb's son. And as you know, teenage boys do, sometimes he would disappear.
You had a tattoo fest.
Yeah.
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 It happens.
But this year he was on it. And it was just really cool to see him like working hard and also enjoying himself.
The low-key thing about Sid is he can run that show. He knows every aspect
Yeah.
of everything, and he's just like, okay, you don't want to ask, I'll just let you fuck it up. Wait, man, I'm right behind you and fix it, and not even say anything to you, and just go on about my day. He's so lackadaisical, but
he's
he knows
like
what's
he's like
correct.
undercover clutch.
Well, he doesn't need to be bold about it. He just kind of just makes sure everything goes right. It's nice. It's nice. I love that guy.
Yeah,
Sid gets big
there's
chunks.
definitely people I haven't mentioned. Jazz, we didn't mention Jasmine at all.
I
One
did
of
too.
Derb's other sons. Oh, you did mention
Yeah,
Jasmine.
too,
Okay.
at the front desk with Kelly B.
Yeah.
You
Hooking it
did.
up.
You did. You're
I was
right.
there. I seen it.
Seen
You
it.
were right.
But it is impossible to mention every single person that helped and,
Yeah.
and contributed. And like we said, this was a group activity. It was every single artist, every single patron, every single collector contributing to what made that show awesome. It was a combined
Mhm.
energy of nothing I've ever been
Oh,
involved in.
hey, look what I found.
Oh, hey.
I
What's
started
up?
getting
What's something
fidgety
to bring
playing
us
with my
together?
strings, and I'm like, I need something to do with my hands.
What
I'm getting
Hey,
tangled
guys.
up over here.
I
Yes,
hate to
ma'am.
interrupt, but as
Please
usual, I'm
do.
just off in the background. I am just want to share some of the chat with you guys. James
Please.
Wisdom comments, if you're interested in solidarity, he's talking about joining the APT, which we're all familiar with. And he
Nice.
also says the dignity of labor deserves to be honored. You guys all are wonderful to compliment all the folks that make the convention possible. So thanks, James,
Thank you.
for chiming in.
Well, thanks for appreciating our acknowledgement.
But that's just like what we were talking about earlier, though, with the community and how, this was just an uplifting experience from top to bottom, where just everybody got together and we mentioned it earlier about something he had done. It was just not like who's gonna do it. It's just like, hey, whoever's closest is gonna do it, and it's gonna get done, and that's it.
I'm going to say this real loud in the air. Who knows how to accomplish this task? And then just
There was a point where I was having a conversation with you on the main floor, and then I hear noise up in the distance. I look up, and there he is on the second floor. Ben's just like yelling back down. I'm like, I don't know how this dude transferred up. He was everywhere. He
He's
was out everywhere.
interdimensional.
Yeah.
He just blinks in and out.
I got a little space portal.
Jumping
thingy.
space time and shit.
That's what I do.
Got a clone up there too.
Yeah,
We've
I'm
all got our
kind of the,
strengths.
I'm
The
kind of the
prestige.
catch-all. If I
Yeah.
were to describe my job at Hell City, it's the catch-all. I'm the guy that knows just enough to be dangerous, but not enough about anything to be stuck doing a real responsible job.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, point blank, you were the guy. You were the guy. That's it.
I was
Anytime somebody needs something, it's like, oh, I got a guy. You're the
was the
guy.
guy.
You're the fucking guy.
and most of the time, all I did was turn around and tell other people to do it. If you want to be real honest,
That's what guys do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Delegation's a skill.
Yeah.
It's
an industry.
It is. It really is. It's called management. But I'm not that guy. No, it was a blast. I always love the show. It's time to feel involved and important and loved. And
Yeah.
it's my time to have that. I don't have to wear a fucking wristband moment. And Brian and I were walking in, and he had wristbands, and he looked at me and he was trying to put one on my wrist. And I was like, my favorite part about this show is it's the only place I don't need to wear a wristband.
I don't think I wore a wristband until Saturday. I was
This
like,
is my
Kelly.
one time.
I just happened to be standing up front. I was like, should I have a wristband on? She's like, Jasmine put one on me. Oh, yeah, let's just do it.
I don't get credit anywhere
'Cause-
else. That's my one place to be like, no.
Did you guys appreciate, I know that Joe does, but Matt, I saw some of your footage today of, I don't know what you were talking about, but you were on stage in that video that you came out and did. It was super cool. So I really love that Hell City was so photo video friendly, because it was just like kept that vibe going, because now we have all this
Yep.
amazing stuff to rewatch,
Yeah,
and it was really, really well done.
absolutely.
So I just wanted to compliment you on that, Matt.
My
My
social
God,
feeds
this-
are filled with awesomeness.
Yeah, they are, and thank you for that. Again, an acknowledgement. I actually this year just knew a lot of magic would happen, so I had a wireless lapel clipped to my dreads here. You couldn't even see it, connected to a camera, so any conversation I had was being documented. So now we got mad footage and to put out a lot of great content to try and be a blessing to everyone, to just let them know of such a great weekend we all got to partake in. But thank you for that.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Man, when I grow my dreadlocks out, I want to put a lav mic in them.
Yeah.
Can we develop like a shower safe dreadlock lav mic? It
Maybe
just
we need
like
to hear you in
slide
the
on.
shower.
Could
Get a camera on the other
just
side.
so no, so I could just wear it all the time. Just like have it there all the time. So we could take it adventuring, yakking, waterfalling. I didn't necessarily.
Speaking of the
literally
wireless
for
lapels, though, they're
showers.
easy to forget. Like I remember when we were
Yes.
filming the seminar for Bob Tyrell,
Mhm.
and he forgot that the lapel was on, and he had to take a bathroom break. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing. But Matt, I was
knowing Bob, he didn't forget. He was like, "Yeah, it's the bathroom."
Wanted to show everybody.
we could hear it
this
through
is
the
uptown,
speakers,
midtown, and downtown. Tonight I'm choosing downtown.
So since we're talking about this past weekend, the technology, it seems like the technology that we all had kind of went off together without a hitch. Like there were enough nerds
Faster, lighter,
there.
smarter.
Yeah, there were enough nerds there with all the right pieces and parts that like magic.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that
Yeah.
everything's getting standardized to the point where you can be like, fine, I need a power cord for this camera because we left ours in the shop.
And I'm like,
We also
this
had
one here?
we also had a lighting expert.
Who's
Oh
that?
yeah,
For-
Russ.
Mr. Russ Abbott.
So we got a video, an interview with Russ, and we were only going to talk for like 15 or 20 minutes. And we ended up talking like a half hour or so. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe it wasn't quite that long. But I think it took 45 minutes or an hour to set up the lighting.
Yes. He
Russ's
couldn't get it
attention
just
to
right.
detail.
Yeah, it was
It's what we
amazing.
love about him,
Can't
though.
be throwing shadows.
Yeah, but
His
that type
wife,
of
she's
that type of like the way he said it was just like, oh, common sense, almost like, oh, maybe we should put these lights up and do that. And it's kind of second nature to all of us because we're used to shooting in studios with those lights. But it was cool to see him recognize that and then show us a thing or two about setting up lights.
yeah.
Or at least
yep.
me.
Yeah. That was a fun little thing to do too. That little panel.
Yep. that
Man,
was
what else
enjoyable.
happened this weekend?
Lauren, the pictures that you got were awesome. The ones that I've seen so far.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Mhm.
I've noticed that like with shooting and stuff, like one of the things that you get over time is chemistry between artist and photographer. You know, if you shoot the same people over and over in different situations, you really build up this like where I feel comfortable saying, hey, look at me, or like, all that type of stuff. And it really, I think that chemistry really improves over time.
Yeah.
Coming at you. I think every photo of me at Hell City this year was of me eating or like disgruntled in some way or form.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As the one who took most of those pictures,
Yeah, there's lots of food pictures. I brought
I
lots
have
of snacks.
I have bad news, buddy. You eat a lot.
I do.
Not a lot. but
Do you
often,
see this?
buddy?
Hell City is ran on snacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Like,
think I had
meals are
a real
rare.
meal. I don't think I had a real meal all
You get a
weekend.
sandwich, that's
Yeah.
like the meal because you've been snacking all
Yeah.
day. There was a table in the artist area that was just a plethora of
Mhm.
cupcakes and fruit and pastry delights and
That got me by
homemade
for day 2.
deliciousness
Yeah.
and fruit
Mhm.
dip and water, you know, all the things you need to make life go around. So it's hard to walk past the snack tray and not.
Just
We didn't
grab
want it to
one.
go to waste. It was going to be bad by
That'd
the
be
end of the
rude. That'd
day.
be rude.
Exactly.
I'll eat 6 cookies right now.
Otherwise,
You're
just
doing the
gonna get
Lord's
thrown out.
work, man.
Right. It's my position in life to help.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that for you.
Smash a camera cookie.
Hum, hum.
It was delicious. So thanks to all the people that brought me snacks. I love you all.
Yeah, I would eat like once in the morning and then just snack the rest of the day as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it'd be like 7 or 8, and I'd be like, okay, maybe I should consume something other than sugar and carbs. Maybe some protein today would be nice.
I had fruit roll-ups.
It's pretty much the same thing.
They're one and the same. You can really switch
I mean-
them out.
Oh, you know what I
But
got
those
that I
are
was
great
snacking
after
on?
getting high.
That they are. They're
Yeah.
fantastic.
Duh.
Counteracts the cotton chops.
Huh.
Yeah.
The veggie straws, I love them, and I've never gotten like a whole bag and demolished them over a 3-day weekend. But it just so happens this past weekend I did.
Mhm.
They're crunchy, like Captain Crunch.
Mhm.
Like
Do you
those
know
air
what
pop
happens?
ones?
Oh,
Yeah,
those
you know.
How's
So,
that roof show?
like 6 or 7 of them is okay, but like an entire bag of them, my mouth was like, it's like all I lived off of was Captain Crunch for a month.
That happens frequently when I go backpacking. You're like, well, this is my backpacking snack. I'm taking a bag of fucking pretzels. And then halfway through day 2, you're like,
Those are some sharp pretzels.
man, I don't want another pretzel. My gums are gone. It's just salt.
Just soak a couple of them in a bag.
No, I don't want any else. Yeah. So the variety of awesomeness that was bestowed upon us
Yeah.
was much appreciated.
The team was taken care of.
Yes, it's nice. It's
Yeah.
real nice. And to have people around when you're like, will you go buy me a sandwich? And they say, yes.
I bought many a sandwich.
I owe you money for sandwiches,
No, you're good, dude.
PTWs.
You're good. You did. Hey, man, your
No.
friendship's enough, bro.
Oh.
So over the weekend, one of the things that I was working on was trying to capture as many of the competitions as we could.
Fun was my photo camera buddy.
Todd was so helpful. Yeah, Ben and I spent a lot of time close together this weekend.
And still managed to not really speak. Was kind of odd.
It was that like-minded attention and,
We didn't
and
need to.
energy
It's
in the
just-
same direction.
It was one of those like the people that get it, but like it's hard to do anything but your job while you're there.
Yeah.
So it's not a disrespect. It's not that we didn't talk. It's not that we it's not real hangout time.
Yeah, there were jobs to be done.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's another thing. We were all kind of cheering everybody. You were very busy too.
Yeah. Fun didn't stop.
Fawn was on the move, and
Can't
Todd
stop
was
one
Todd was
second.
right there behind her everywhere she went, man. So to both of you, you guys saw some
Speaking of-
messes all weekend too.
We did take adequate smoke breaks, though. We did make time for that.
There were
Duh.
plenty of safety.
Well,
measures.
poor
This
Ben
is-
didn't
this is
get to
fact.
go, but the one time. They know
Yeah.
We only smoked once with Ben. The whole
Yeah, it's
weekend.
okay. I was high.
You know what I think's cool about this
I think we all were.
I had my pen.
We all have our ways.
Yeah.
this panel of guys that's on stage. We've had most of them on the show and talked about their collections in detail. We haven't talked to Tony yet, but we will.
So,
But there's Blade. We had his Japo
Japo
horror
horror.
mech.
Yeah.
We've got his collection there. He's got an Adam France front torso. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
So that is the Blade guy you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
I actually talked
Mhm.
to
He's
him
got-
this weekend.
Yeah, he's super cool. He's got some Marty Holcomb work. There
Yes.
was Jules with the red hair just a moment ago.
Jeff. We didn't even mention Jeff, the guy that's
Oh.
hosted every single Hell City
We
since the
love Jeff.
beginning of
He was
time.
great.
There's Todd, Tony right next to him. Everybody called him Santa Claus all weekend.
So Jeff missed a call from outer fucking space while on stage.
If he would have answered that,
I looked him dead in his face and was like, answer. He was like, nah, man. I was like, if it's not the government, it's gonna be hilarious. It's a prank call.
Mhm.
That's what I thought. You know, like it's a
Yeah.
prank call. Like answer, it'll be great. And he was like, no. And it was his boy on the fucking space shuttle. Space station? Or
Mhm.
center? Space station.
station. Yes.
Station.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not
Station.
joking at all. He was like bummed. I
Damn.
felt real bad. We could have talked to somebody.
Sorry for the horrible camera work, guys. I was trying to stay out of the way.
Fon's a professional.
I was trying to not be too intrusive, but
You're,
you know.
Hey, there's my head.
You're smoothly through the crowd. Every time I saw you, you're
Yeah.
just like a
Yeah, I mean that's
The
the
water
best way
snake.
to do it.
Yeah.
Weaving and bobbing.
Bobber Weaver.
Just move around everyone else. Get where you want to go.
Weave bobber.
There's Ed back over there. Ed's got a hell of a collection himself.
You know, Fawn, I filmed, I think one of our artists had won an award on Sunday, and I filmed it just like this. And his wife
Mhm.
was so thankful that I did that. And it's like, even with this, you just don't know how appreciative some of these people are for capturing that. Like it's, it saves it, and they can always have that, even if it's just kind of all around, or even if it's perfectly filmed footage. It's just really appreciated by anyone who was there or wasn't there.
Absolutely.
Well, that's one of
Couldn't
my
agree
goals
more,
is
Lauren.
to
Yeah,
eventually start hitting as many shows like as a team, and like as our team grows, I want to start hitting as many shows as we can and start documenting all the competitions, because if we don't have a chance to attend, we can see at least the good work that's being done there. If we're at the show and we're being worked on but we want to see the competitions, we can just jump on to the tattoo collecting Instagram feed and see what's going on stage. And like with this, like the Asian style of judging, where it's like, they eliminate down to like a handful of people per round, and then they judge all together. This is a really good way for the audience to see, like, apples for apples, what's on stage. You know what I mean?
Look at Todd up there in his glory.
This is
Oh.
the all-around male competition. We don't have to watch the whole thing. It lasts pretty stinking long.
I was curious how you guys kind of decide on the way to judge, or like the categories, or what if it's like a collective, or you kind of follow like the norm, or
I don't
The
know.
answer to that is Derb.
Yeah, definitely for Hell City, Derb decide. Like, I'm not sure like what I don't know what.
Well, like, when I went to-
percent sure that Derb and Jules just go, this is what we're doing.
when I went to
They're
Tahoe
in
last
post.
month, they had DATs, and the way he did the competitions were different, but like for best of show, he handpicked, and it was just different. I was curious how each promoter does things differently and why,
His show, his pick.
So Lauren, real quick,
It's a
this is
panel of
totally
judges.
unsolicited, but now that I see your face, it's time for you to change your profile pic. You're beautiful, and whatever screenshot you got up's not doing you justice. Just my opinion. Guys, I want to thank you so much for having me on here. I got to go get my kids fun. It just blessed me so much that you even invited me here today. So I moved things so that I could be here today. And so
Well,
it
thank
was a
you so
huge
much,
honor.
Matt.
Yeah, to be honored. You two gentlemen sitting next to Fawn, you'd mentioned, hey, you appreciate so much about the community because you guys aren't tattooers, right? And I think there's power in that, because what good is a painting if there are no eyes to see? What good is a song if there are no ears to hear? Therefore, we need each other. And one of my favorite quotes is, if you want to go fast, yeah, go alone. But if you want to go far, we got to go together. And that's what we're
Absolutely.
doing.
Like that.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank
That's a
you so
great
much, Matt.
synopsis, man. It was great to
Blessings
meet you, my
upon
friend.
Yeah, man.
all of you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Have a great
Hey,
evening. I
Matt.
would love to talk to you again
Happy
soon.
day. Hey,
Anytime you're free, when we're
Thank
on,
you.
please let us know. You can chime in anytime you're free.
My God. Thank you,
Love to
guys.
hear
And if
from
you
you.
see me come in the flesh, look the fuck out. I'm packing mad love.
Love it.
All
Arms are
right,
open,
see
brother.
y'all.
Great to see you. Take care.
Yeah.
Okay, you too. Good night, y'all. See you.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Good night.
it's funny, the thing, like he says, I always thought, like people are like, stay in your lane, bro, stay in your lane. For me, I've always said, and I'm just going to share it because I thought of it, but like, I'm in the high occupancy vehicle lane,
I love it. I love it.
I just want to know when Matt's going to start his cult, because I want to sign
I
up.
would
I
join.
want to sign up right now.
I think we might already be a part of
I
it.
think we can.
That was the initiation.
Oh man.
No, it's always been awkward for me being an outside. I say outsider, but I'm not a tattooer. I'm not in the industry. I'm not. But I've always been on the fringe. I've always been involved. I've always had this weird placement that has allowed me this super cool privilege to be involved in stuff like that. And I've always said that I don't know how I got so lucky, but I happened to fall into the right crowd, and it's made my life completely different than what it could be. It's amazing.
In the words of Brandon Boyd, why not make yourself,
I mean, for sure.
What a solid
Yeah.
reference.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. You
I
guys
love a
hit
good
it with the
Incubus
Brandon
reference.
Boyd. Yeah,
Love
yeah.
a
I
good
think we
Incubus
talked about that.
reference.
But yeah, the whole experience from every single thing. Like I watched I forget what it was or how old I was when I realized there's more than 5 senses. You know, so it's like I can't believe how many of those senses were just enamored or like hit so well. And that's what separates a good show from an average, you know, or
Mhm.
below average. You know, like even just putting your thoughts into the mind of like someone walking through the show and how would they navigate, or you know, who are they going to go to if they have a problem, and every single stop was just perfect.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah. It's a good-
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I remember attending Hell City like when I first started tattooing, and I didn't know anybody on a personal level. I had been tattooing a couple of years and been to Hell City for at least 2 or 3 times before Derb and I actually like knew one another, and we actually met at an Easy Rider event.
Of all places.
I mean, it's just, yeah, we, you know, if you know, you know.
If you know,
If you know, you know. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there is a new generation of tattooers that doesn't understand when we say, like, oh yeah, I've done the Easy Rider show, and I'm probably at the later end of that group.
I think
you know
that's
what I
just
mean?
because of how you came about. You weren't afraid of the house party. You
That's
weren't afraid
true.
to go where the clientele was.
That's
And
true.
Your willingness and amazingness to take on anybody that wanted to be tattooed
That's true.
probably led you to some places that other people wouldn't even have been aware of. Open mind, open heart. I'm a tatty blast you all. You want some barbed wire?
I'm gonna make this the crispiest barbed wire you ever seen.
Be
Wait till you
fancy.
see these little highlights.
You be fancy. That blood gonna have some gleam to
They'll
it.
be like, I just wanted it black. I didn't know you could make it look 3D. There's a
What?
shadow under there.
Is that Jesus' portrait in the shadow? How'd you do that? How did you?
Oh
do that?
man.
Do you think that back then your bedside manner is the same as it is now? Were you still Mama Fawn back then?
I'm definitely a caretaker by nature. So like, first of all, like I'm always like hyper aware and know how to like fix people when they become injured. I was a reckless child. So
We're broken a lot.
Dude, fun. Yeah, I was like reaching for candy that wasn't there, and like within half a minute it was like in my hand when I was getting tattooed by Bob. You know?
well, I feel like I feel like I've always been incredibly attentive to my clients' needs. I've always been mindful that getting tattooed is expensive and people set aside a day for it. And I feel like if somebody chooses to spend their one and only day off that week, month, several months, whatever, if they spend that time with me, I want to make that the best day off that they have, whether it's sitting and watching like mind-bending TV shows and movies, or like having intellectual talks, or just being totally silent. Like it's totally different from one client to the next, but it's almost like, yes, I'm hurting you, but outside of that, I want this to be like the equivalent to your spa day. And because that's how I would want to be if I were being tattooed. Like, baby me, make me comfortable.
Care.
Make me, you're gonna hurt me. Like,
I'm over here laughing though, because in our first session together, you definitely went through all of those all of those phases where we had the intellectual talk, and then we'd put something just stupid and funny on Netflix, and then I would just sit and moan and groan and sit in my dark little hole for a couple minutes, and then we'd wash, rinse, repeat.
yep, you go
There's
through it.
seasons. There's seasons
Mhm.
with fawn.
That's the beauty of a 32-hour tattoo session. Is that you get that chance to immerse yourselves with each other.
Nobody warned me.
Yes.
Nobody warned me.
When I
Buckle the
when
fuck
I
up.
was between shops before I came to Red Tree, I was working at my friend Jody's studio, and she, for the few months that I was working with her, she joked around that she was going to make a daily special that Fawn will tattoo you to death. Like, she will just keep tattooing you until you tell her to stop, or until death. And I was like, don't sound wrong.
For X amount of dollars,
Jay
you
Brown.
too can die by fall.
Jay Brown told me this story. You'll have to ask him again about it, about this tattooer who tattooed until he died. Like he died tattooing with a heart attack, but he had tattooed his whole life. So that is possible. Either one, you kill your client or you're going down.
I don't really ever want to kill my client. I don't want to put that out in the universe. This was Jody's special,
Could
not
you
mine.
imagine being the dude with the last squiggly line?
Yeah, he was traumatized. That's for sure.
But
Wow. I can't imagine.
Did he have a foot pedal, or was he running rotary? How long did this
Oh,
line go?
he would have had a foot pedal for sure.
my foot
He's an
pedal,
old
yeah.
timer. Yeah, it was at somewhere out west.
Man,
Do you get that tattoo finished by somebody else?
that's what I'm trying to imagine.
Or you
Like I'm
just let it
trying to
ride?
imagine in that situation.
the-
I think you get it worked on, but
Get it
keep
done.
keep that squiggle in there somehow. you know?
See, I think I would have to leave it as is. I think wherever it stopped, that's where that tattoo is supposed to be done.
Universe said this is complete.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
the
universe. is
universe murked somebody to finish off, not finish this off. This is how it's gonna stay.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder what he
Maybe.
was working on. I'm so vested in this
Well, now
story
I
now.
Ooh, I will link you up with Jay Brown to tell it, because when he told me, he like called me for like a really long time for this story. It's so good. Are you familiar with him at all?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay,
Focus up.
he runs the Northwest Tattoo Museum, and he's
Okay.
a co-host.
Oh yeah, I was doing a tour with him over the weekend.
Oh God, he's so yeah. He did some stuff for Hell City and all, but he's got a
Yeah.
plethora of knowledge, and that's his story.
Definitely gonna have to set that
Yeah.
because hard in.
I have to interrupt everyone here, but everyone know that Bob Roberts passed away today.
No.
Yes.
Did not.
Do you know any details?
No, I only got.
For
this
those who
when I
don't
told
know
me
who
that he
Bob
passed.
Roberts is, help us out.
Mhm.
Legendary tattooer. I can pull up, his stuff.
Please.
You're probably on it quicker than me, Lauren. It's always tough. It's a funny thing when like an artist passes, because it's different than other, like a painting hanging on the wall. We talk about like the exchange of energy and the transfer of like spirit with the artwork, and you actually carry that
Wow.
with you. So it's a funny, I've had clients who have passed away, and sometimes I can't even like put into words the feeling that evokes. It's
Wow.
There is a
Wow,
lot
that
of
is
people talking
beautiful.
about this online and just in their shops and their studios. He's very,
Yeah.
very impactful on a lot of people's life.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Does anybody know when he started tattooing?
Let's see.
We're all creeping together now.
As
You
it
need
should
to
be.
know.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had Joey Knuckles on. It's probably been over a year since we've had Joey on. We should
Love
have
to
him
Joey.
on again. One of the things that he said and he really drove home was to get tattooed by the legends now. Go out and get tattooed by them. It's the best way to preserve them, to
Right.
continue passing on their work and passing on their legacy. Go get work by these legends now. Let's jump back over to Hell City talk. I'm gonna leak.
For more artwork.
Little leaky.
Do what? What'd you say, Todd?
All that artwork we've seen this weekend. I mean,
Yeah.
the contests were the toughest that I've ever seen at Hell City. I've been going 10 years now, and this was the toughest by far.
So you know
There
what I
was
think
so
we
much
should do,
good work.
Todd?
So much good work.
A lot of the times when we were on stage together, I would have like, if Jeff was talking, I would like make it, I'd have the mic on so people could hear. But if music was playing, I might mute it. But I think it would be kind of cool if next time we do mic up, we throw some lav mics on and actually like let the audience hear our commentary, because I think that might be a cool addition to our footage. Because I think there weren't, and as you and I were like guessing which artists did what, most of the time we were right, but there were times where it was like, oh, I thought that was Jesse Smith, but that's Nick Mitchell. All right, okay.
James
You know what I
Byrne.
mean? Like, or like, is that a tie piece, or is that a guy piece, or is that a gecko piece? You know what I mean? Like, I think it would be kind of fun for the audience to hear us. And you and I have judged. So, you know, even though we weren't judging, we were probably having the same exact conversations that the judges were 2 feet away from us.
Yeah, we were.
I
But, I mean,
think it would be
we-
kind of,
There was a couple up there that we picked that the judges didn't, and that was hard. There was a lot, so much good work. Any of them could have won.
It's
There was this
subjective.
one particular, well, yes, but there was this one particular sleeve that we seen that was 6 years old, and it looked like it was done 6 weeks ago.
Wow.
it was really
Wow.
impressive. But here's one of the conversations that Todd and I were having, like on the sidelines, as we were, because it was like, as it was like getting narrowed down to like, let's call it the finalists. It was like leg sleeve. Well, okay, let me reword that. It was amazing leg sleeve, beautiful leg sleeve, impeccable leg sleeve, amazing, beautiful, impeccable, tiny little arm sleeve, beautiful leg sleeve, showstopper leg sleeve, beautiful leg sleeve. So I lean over to Todd and I was like, do you think it like weighs any differently, or like pulls differently, or like, for in your opinion or in the judge's opinion, do you think it weighs differently, the size of the work? Because she was a petite woman. She was probably like,
Yes.
she was way smaller than me, maybe 5'1" or 5'2".
5'1".
So a tiny little arm compared to these like big muscly man legs.
Well, here's the thing. It's not supposed to be about how many or how much tattoo you have. It's the quality of the whole collection. So vis-a-vis, if you've got 2 tattoos that are the best tattoos in the goddamn world, you have a collection. And those 2 tattoos might be better than every other person's tattoo on that stage that are covered from earlobe to asshole. It's a weird misconception that more is always better or larger is always better. So it's a hard thing to say either way, but visually from the side of the stage, it does seem that the larger pieces win.
Yeah.
And that's kind of disheartening because it's harder for
Well, let me ask you this.
smaller
Do you
collectors
think,
to want to be involved.
well, in this situation, it was a full leg sleeve. It was a shoulder to wrist. But like, how does that hold up to like a 6'7" man muscly leg when like on just one side of his leg from the knee down is as big as her entire sleeve? Like, it's one of those, like, it's almost like, man, does she stand a chance? Because her arm, even though it's impeccably beautiful, is like competing against like Sam's leg sleeve that has like portrait after portrait after portrait after portrait after portrait after portrait, and each one is just jaw dropping.
He got tattooed at Cincinnati when we were there, and won a bunch of shit in Cincinnati.
Sam's the one with the black and gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
I remember him
Lefty
from Phoenix.
Colbert.
I don't remember him in Cincinnati, but he could have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I get what you're saying though.
Is
Is like is greater surface area an advantage in this kind of situation?
Yeah, and I mean, I know by design it's not supposed to be, but like,
Yeah.
For me as a judge, but for
At a
me as a
certain
judge,
point,
it
it
don't
definitely
matter.
I think it's quality of work.
Quality.
No,
of
for
work
me,
and
it's the
context,
quality.
right?
It's I look at it as a sleeve. Okay, I don't look at it as, oh, that's a huge piece of artwork. It's a sleeve. Each one's a sleeve. Each one has to be judged on the merits of that sleeve. Now for her arm, it was impeccably done. There was not a flaw in that whatsoever. And
When I
for
asked
me,
her how old it was and she said 6 years, my
6
jaw
years.
dropped, Todd.
Yes. And
Damn.
um
Put that up. That's paper.
it was, for me, I would have scored that very highly as a judge. I would not care about the size of other leg sleeves because that one was so impeccably done. It needs to be rewarded.
Well, part of it is it's supposed to flow with the body part, right? So if it's
And
a
it
little
did.
tiny arm
Oh
and it
my
fits the
God.
little tiny arm perfectly, and the big giant sleeve fits the big giant person,
You paint the canvas.
it's the same. They should cancel
Yeah.
each other out. If the body flow is the same and the positioning is correct
Mhm.
and the tattoo work is the same, the size difference shouldn't fucking matter because the point was to fill the canvas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important aspect of it. It's just like, how does it fit on the body
Right.
and how does it look? Because, you know, you
Like-
could have a bunch of tattoos all misshapen and misplaced, but if you have like one really good solid one, that'll stand out way more.
Right. That's the one thing I've
And
always
the
admired about
other
Todd's
thing-
tattoo collection. It all flows. It all fits.
But here's the other thing that we failed to mention, me and Fawn, about this tattoo was there was some tricks in there that are extremely
Oh,
difficult to
yes.
pull off. The negative music notes were just unbelievably impeccable, and
Ben,
that
They
trick
were
alone
crystal
was just-
clear 16th notes.
Yeah.
The tails were,
Yes.
but they were like three, maybe a third, 2/3 of an inch.
In negative space.
Negative with a G clef. Super
With
duper
the
crisp.
G-clef.
The G clef
Yes.
was wavy and beautiful,
Love it.
and like it's like
Flex.
Yeah.
it was so well done. And when she said it was 6 years old, that means that tattoo is in there. That
Migrated,
means that
yeah.
it's saturated. That
Mhm.
means that ink is not going to go anywhere.
Anywhere.
Another 10 years from now, she might need her oranges and yellows bumped up. But outside of that, her purples were brilliant. Her pinks were brilliant. Her blacks were black, and her negatives were just spot on skin color. There wasn't even any white in there, like fixing up fudged edges. You know how sometimes you'll see like
Eraser.
blemish it. Yeah, you can see where somebody tried to like blemish in a
Oh,
white highlight. I mean, I do that like if I have a jumpy client and I've got like a little morsel, but like she sat like a rock and her artist did the impossible.
Right.
And
Yes.
like there were some, like Todd said, there were some specific tricks in that are just hard to do. Like I have tattooed a lot of really impossible
Can
things,
we
and that
filter
was
footage
beautiful.
and find her name and get her on and look at this impeccable
Let me see if
judge?
Well,
I can
I have
find out.
talked to her. She's
Set
going
us
to get in
up, Todd.
contact with us, and we might
Beautiful.
have her on here at some point because her collection was amazing. She won large color for Timmy Bloor,
Beautiful.
and that piece is just totally insane. It's on her hip.
Lauren just messaged in a few minutes ago and said Bob started tattooing in 1973, so 49 years tattooing.
It's crazy.
Do you know how old I was in 73?
Negative 12.
I wasn't.
Negative 12.
Wasn't. Yeah, negative 12.
What's that?
I was 6
Or
years
like
old.
some say a twinkle in your mom's eye.
I don't think my mom
I
was
don't-
twinkling.
Yeah, I
yet.
don't think there was any twinkles even then.
My mom would have been 8.
Okay, yeah,
Probably
no-
not.
Wow.
Maybe 9.
Maybe not.
Maybe 9.
Well, see, that's what makes the difference. Is it 8 or 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, just set it over
Slide.
The
the edge.
possibilities
That-
drastic.
Oh man.
Todd, what's your favorite part about the show?
Hi.
Getting
hanging out
high.
with us.
No, seriously. When we were doing the covering the contest and that and being right on stage and being able to be up there as close as the judges were, yeah, that was good. I liked that a lot. You know, you got to see it up close, and there was so much good work up there. So much good work up there. My friend Ed, who has Evan Olin all over him, that was just amazing to see. You know, I've watched Ed for the past probably 5 years get it, and it's just amazing every time I see it.
His work, we
You know-
had Ed on an early episode and we got to see his work on the screen, but to see it in person, it It doesn't, the pictures don't do it justice. Evan
No, because you
is
don't
such
get
a
all the
talented
detail.
artist.
And that detail he gets into it is just
He-
for a
his-
color tattoo.
So like,
It's also
let's
color
just talk
talent.
about like the skin texture in the portraits that he's making. The placement of
Yes.
like the white highlights upon each of the wrinkles is beautifully executed. It's a very specific, tricky trick, and he like has it down like a master painter. His stuff is beautiful. Yeah, I mean, stuff looks really nice on camera. What? It
Oh,
well,
see a little fangirl over there for a
well,
second.
well, I hadn't seen it in
Right.
person.
It's
It's one of
just cute
those
to
like
see.
it was. I recognized all the pieces. We'd seen them up close because we were still at Jordan's in his studio, so we had them on the big screen. So it was like, yeah, that's really really good. But to see it in person, it's like goals,
Right.
It's so different.
goals.
Real recognize real.
Yes, goals.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna venture off and get a drink before I swallow my tongue.
You know what? There is a bottle of Mountain Dew in the little mini refrigerator and some red cups in the cabinet above the coffee pot.
Hint, hint.
Thanks, baby.
Thanks, Ben.
To get back to that werewolf piece that Evan did on his leg and that moon looks like it's glowing. It really does. I mean, it's just incredible how that tattoo looks.
I did a moon a few months ago. Well, several months ago, but I just finished the sleeve a few months ago. And I was really, really proud of that moon. And then I saw Evan's moon and I was like, I still got some work to do.
I can't
I don't know,
remember
Fawn.
who-
You posted last night. Whatever you posted last was really, really good. I love
That
That was
pomegranate.
really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
it was.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody did it was this beautiful, it took up most of the outer thigh and outer like calf area, but it was this really beautiful like black and red tattoo. But the bottom portion of it that was done on Sunday was of a character from a video game called Ghost of Tsushima. God, I messed that up.
Tsushima.
Yep, there you go. But it was Jin Sakai, and I saw it, and I played this game, and I love this game, and I was like, oh man, that's so dope. I'm like, that's Jin Sakai,
Yeah.
and the guy was just like, he's like, oh man, he's like, yeah, that was just a reference photo. Like neither of us know who that is. I'm like, why would you get such like a recognizable
Well, the
video
first things on
character?
Google, right?
Yeah, like, oh no.
This
You're
is
gonna have
really
this
nice.
conversation. Yeah,
But you can leverage
Yeah.
that to get a couple clicks on it.
yeah.
So for this one, we were actually trying to combine the idea of acanthus leaves with like a betta fish's tail. So that's why it's like super exaggerated curls and swirls.
Hey, have you ever collaborated with Guy?
Beautiful.
Fawn?
No, but I hope one day the opportunity will present itself.
It's presenting itself right now. I'm going to ask Guy, but I'd like just if you ever are interested to collaborate with him on my look.
I'm always looking for an excuse to head over to hyperspace. What are you talking about?
All right, yeah, that's cool then.
This blue area right here is insane. That's so good.
That area, oh man, I wish I could remember the name of the artist. It's
Thank you.
one of her co-workers at Infinite Art in Toledo. I want to say Shannon, maybe. I think maybe Shannon did it. I could be wrong, but I think that's who did it. But yeah, I just worked in super tight and close to that piece.
Speaking of hyperspace, by the way, I know Guy's doing a talk in July at an art museum out there in Illinois. I think he was looking for some people to show up to show off tattoos. He was basically just talking to like a general art crowd.
I could show off my armpit portals.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm there. I'm gonna be there with them too, running like the booth and some
Okay.
stuff behind it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit him up though. See
Yeah.
what you can do.
Hell
Okay.
City was the first time that I saw any of thank you. Was the first time I saw any of like your like body work in person.
Oh, you hadn't seen any of my
No,
tatties?
not yet. Like on the internet and stuff. That sounds bad, but no, like on
He's like, I was creeping on the last Hell City show. The last time you took your clothes off in public.
No, but I had seen pictures on Instagram somewhere. But yeah, it's crazy. You have such good stuff.
Thank you.
Yes.
One of that it's actually like one of the reasons that like I feel like it's so important to talk to people about tattoo collecting is because I'm so proud of my collection, but it took a lot of patience to achieve this. You know what I mean? It took like not being impulsive and not becoming like heavily tattooed in my early career like so many artists do. Like I wanted to collect, I wanted big work, but I knew I only had so much real estate. It's like something clicked very early on that I only had so much real estate, and whatever I get now is going to limit what I can get later. So there was like 8 years of me tattooing where I didn't get tattooed at all, which I do not recommend, but my goals were to like get good enough to get in the right circles to somehow get the attention of the people that I wanted to tattoo me. And somehow universe listened. So
Yeah, I've got that mindset with it too. It's like the very first tattoo I got is like my entire outer arm here. Cause like usually people are really small, but I don't know. I've just always thought bigger work was a lot better.
Mhm.
I'm not a fan of the
I
little
think-
tchotchke ones.
I think everybody here agrees with that.
Yeah.
Not that that's
I have a bunch
Yeah.
of little tattoos.
That's not the
people love
only way to
every little
collect.
teeny one.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
not the only way to collect, but I think we all are kind of the mindset bigger and bolder and brighter is better.
Yeah, it's
But-
just a lot more room to get much more beautiful stuff, in
Mhm.
my opinion.
And just an observation as a collector too is, you know, as I've gotten more intertwined with like the community and getting to know all of you guys better and all that stuff, you know, it went from in my early collecting where it was just, you know, flash pieces and like knowing that I like traditional stuff, to where like now, like it seems like a lot of people that I pay attention to and I know of, or you know, they're all looking for large scale pieces anyway. So from being a collector, it's like, yeah, you have to really like, I'm now transitioning point now where I have to think about like, oh man, like, you know, I met Renee this weekend. Like, I
Mhm.
want to get something from Renee.
Did we
met-
send her the proper link, by the
Oh,
way?
yeah.
Okay, just double checking.
But like, I want to get something
She's
from
tattooed.
Jordan. I want to
Okay.
get something from Cam. Like, and I'm starting to find like all these artists where I'm like, I'm loving what you're doing, but like, shit,
I got you,
it
bro.
might be too late.
I'll set you up. So you know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start being a tattoo concierge.
Oh,
See, right? So you come to me, Bubby, and I'll just take care of you. I'll ask for a
A
3%
small finder's
commission.
fee.
And I'll
He's-
just go to these people and I'll be like, hey, bro, tattoo my bro. I'll set it up. Here's your day.
the guy.
I'll see you later. Give
You're
it
the
money.
guy.
So there you go.
You have very gentle hands, but
I know. It's because I love it.
These guys, it's funny that he says that because these guys have choked each other out many times.
Wait. You have to clarify that fucking statement, young lady.
Well, they
we
did
both
sue.
liked it and we
They
looked each
did
other
sue.
in the eye.
it's
No.
really consensual.
It was consensual.
I signed
That's good.
paperwork.
It's healthy.
There
no,
was
We did sign a
paperwork?
waiver. There was a waiver
Yeah,
signed.
there's-
Yeah.
Hey, just in case, you never know.
you
No.
never know. Safe words aren't enough.
No.
Sometimes you can't tap out.
What are you a purple belt?
I am. Yeah.
His belt's purple.
Purple.
Try hard.
It's like even knows jujitsu.
No, it's
Ooh.
funny. It's funny. You know, one thing you don't see a lot of at Health City is security, but like in reality, there's so
more
much
security.
What is
security.
that?
There's some dangerous people in the crowd.
Well, that's
And
the
it'll
thing.
be like, oh, see that little scrawny guy there? He's a brown belt.
Yeah.
See that big guy over there? He's a purple belt. See that medium guy over there? He's a black belt.
Yeah.
That
See
guy
the
over
giant guy in the corner that worked special ops for 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our crew is significant.
Well, yeah, like, and then Fudd from Dayton shows up.
Right.
He's a brown belt on George Michelle. And like me and him, dude, my very first competition match ever was against Fudd. It was the George Michelle in-house tournament.
Oops.
And so yeah,
Oh, that guy.
he beat me by advantages because we neither of us scored on each other because we suck so fucking bad. But yeah, no, he showed up and then we ended up having like a quick because Iggy guy that was working the doors and stuff like
Right.
that. He's a white belt at Bodie Freeman's place.
Okay.
And so like we have this like tiny little like rolling technique session where we're like, oh yeah, like check out this is like a cool thing we've been working on, and oh, this is what we've been working on. Like, oh fucking yeah.
The last Hell City, Morgan came up to me and said, "You don't know shit about shit," and I had to grind his face on the fucking floor, and I got in trouble for it because I made him bleed, and then we had to clean up blood. It was
You're not supposed to make people leak, Ben.
don't don't make me make you leak.
Yeah,
Well
don't
Here's
put
a
me-
joy
there's an
only.
easy, there's an easy.
Don't put me in that position.
He just said I have gentle hands. Fawn, have you ever heard me have a curse word against anybody that wasn't warranted? Am I the violent?
Unwarranted?
Am I
Nah.
the violent seeking person in this world?
No.
But that's like a thing that jiu-jitsu does too, where
But
it's just
come
kind
at
of like,
me.
yeah. But that's how it is, right? It's like,
Sorry, buddy, you made these choices.
I'm not
and
looking
now
for violence, but like,
grind your face into the ground.
if you chose violence today
That's your fault.
and your path crosses mine,
That's your fault.
sucks to suck, man.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Love you though.
We can go get a drink afterwards.
Yeah,
man.
we did.
I'll
I
wake you,
actually bought him a drink immediately.
yeah,
Followed.
I'll wake
Bad.
you up.
I didn't
We'll get
realize
you
that
set
was your
up.
face.
Yeah.
I feel like your whole jujitsu crew is becoming tattooed and / part of the tattoo family.
No.
Everybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of how it works.
But you know, we got
I mean, it's not bad.
Well,
It's
you know what's
just
funny is-
I'm observing.
When Aaron showed up to paint night the other night,
yeah.
I went to school in like 8th grade with that guy, and
No
now
shit.
he's at the gym. And
Yeah.
we're supposed to, so it's kind of funny. It was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, you oh, okay,
Yeah.
wow. It's kind of.
Do you know what I
All the
forgot to
circles
talk
combined.
about today? We have had Paul Booth and Ty McEwen guest
Yeah.
spotting at Red Tree all week. That's been pretty cool. I mentioned that Brian got worked on the other day, so I guess that's the only mention of it. But it was
I
been
got
pretty
to see
cool.
Paul Touchy yesterday. It was pretty cool.
hmm
I just creeped from the other room and watched through the mirror as to not to disturb.
Isn't it nice having the
Was
weird windows?
creeping.
Yeah, I was up there for a little bit too, watching Ty, and it's just amazing to see all that stuff happen in
Mhm.
person.
Yeah. Dude, when I was in here taking pictures for May the 4th,
Mhm.
that was one of my favorite things is like just having those windows. Like at one point I was in Derb's room shooting into Brandon's room, into Jordan's room.
Mhm.
And I could see all of them with all of their clients in one shot.
Isn't that
It's
great?
just like, what a cool space.
I don't
that
know if you
is.
posted them or not, but I think that those are pretty cool if I remember right, Joe.
Oh yeah.
They're all right.
They were
I like
Just-
them.
He almost knows how to take a picture.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Oh,
So me and Fawn were handing out cards for the podcast, and we came across this girl that was getting tattooed.
oh
And
man, I know what one you're talking about.
sternum.
Mm.
As soon as we seen her getting tattooed, we both clutched our sternum and just went, "Oh."
Okay, so let me set the scene for you. So Todd and I are walking along and we make the corner, and I've got my iPhone out on a monopod about 7 feet in front of me. And I've like extended it over her, and I'm like watching super intently. Like I can see his hands underneath, and I'm also like watching, like focusing on my screen intently, trying to keep it steady. So I'm like concentrating on this needle and the line he's about to run. And at the same time he goes to run the line, he makes the line beautifully, but she like cringes in a way that I was like hyper focusing. I could feel it all over again. And like Todd and I were both like concentrating like on the same image on my phone at the same time, and we both just like cringed with her. I had to like recover from it. It like zapped me right back into it.
Collective trauma.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it literally took me right back to that moment.
Sternum was
Ooh,
one of the few
girl.
places that was one of the like, all right, 1, 2, 3. Let's get this done. Like, I'm over it. I'm gonna whine. Hold me down. Like, let's go. I think Davey sat on me to finish mine.
Yeah, Ty and Adam work in layers. There was no quickness to it.
Oh yeah,
And mine stopped like halfway through my sternum. So that means when I get my belly finished, it's gonna be awful all over again.
it was stupid.
Oh shit.
So,
It was
so
not.
Megan was doing my sternum, and she looked right at me after about 3 minutes into it, and she goes, "Well, Todd, we could either do this for 40 minutes or 20 minutes. It's
Yep.
your choice."
I'll take
That's-
the 40, Bob.
That's
go,
the
I'll
talk
take
we
the
gotta have
20.
sometimes.
I'll take the 40, Bob. Thanks.
Wow,
I said,
I'm
"I'll
really
take the
looking forward
20."
to getting mine done. It's
Be
gonna be
scared.
awesome.
So okay,
It's
while
just
we're
your
talking about
soul
it,
leaving your body.
So-
it's not a
It
big
is.
deal.
So
it
the
all.
spot that we're talking about that really rocks your world, like there are parts of the chest that are difficult. There are parts of the chest that are not very difficult. But the part that we are talking about is about that big around.
Mhm.
Like it's maybe even smaller.
what,
Like
right
I
here?
describe it as like the size of a racquetball. Yeah, but right at the bottom of your sternum where your solar plexus.
And I,
Oh,
Where that giant detail is.
yeah, that giant black.
Oh,
I don't even do what. Oh yeah.
I mean, you live. The majority of the chest is not that bad. It's hot up here, higher up on the sternum, but like
Yeah.
it's fine.
It's
like
fine.
it's fine.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Not like
in
the
the middle of the
armpit area.
sermon, but the middle of it, it's rocking your internal organs.
Yeah.
You're feeling
Yeah, I
it
don't
all.
like it.
here.
It's
See,
Dope.
mine kind of only
Like
bleeds over. I only
this
got like
little
half
crease?
the top
Uh-huh.
done.
And like the nippies and
Mhm.
that little sternum sole button.
Oh yeah, when I got around my nipple on the left side of my chest, it definitely felt like I was getting like my chest was getting electrocuted. Like it wasn't getting tattooed anymore. It was just like being zapped.
Yep.
And I was like, what
Yeah,
the
but see,
fuck
you-
is
you-
that?
but all you guys got it in little doses. I did my belly button, my sternum, and my nipples in the same fucking day.
Why would you do that?
That's the least that Megan
He's a
had to do.
maniac, that's for sure.
That's like such a niche flex. And I
Do it once.
appreciate it.
You can't ever do it again.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah.
One of
Well,
them.
I did this.
No matter
Well,
how tough
damn
anybody
right.
ever tries to be.
It was the belly button was easy. For a guy, you feel it in your dick. You definitely feel it there, and not in a good way.
I'm
Yeah.
not worried about
Sternum.
mine.
Hey.
Renee,
Hello.
hello. Hello,
Hi,
hello.
everybody.
Hey,
Hello.
we're just having the Hell City recap.
Oh, nice. I just got done
Are you
chatting.
recovered? Are you still jet lagged?
Yeah.
Well, you drove back,
No,
huh?
I drove back. Yeah. I feel pretty good. I've been drinking a gallon of water that I've just been carrying around for the last couple days. And I think I'm pretty good. I think hanging out at Red Tree like that final day helped me kind of get back pretty quickly to norm, just like having
Just
one
to
day
the
of chills.
touch.
That's all I really need is one day anyways. So yeah,
No.
how's everybody looking good? for the
Yesterday
most
I was
part?
like, okay, my body caught up with me
Yep.
and I died. It was yesterday. My whole system shut down.
Oh, me too. We didn't even get a chance to talk about this. Yesterday was my crash hard day. Lauren even said it. She was like, I mean, I'm not saying you look like trash, but you look like trash. Thanks, Lauren. No, that's not what she said.
Let me paraphrase.
See, I think I had,
Thanks,
you know,
Lauren.
I had more of the I think it was either it might have been Lauren or Renee that I was talking to, but like I had this like almost famous moment where it's just like, oh, like I have to go back to the real world now. I have to work my
Yeah.
day
Yeah,
job.
yeah. I was.
And
having
I was
that
just
on
like,
Sunday.
I was like, man, like I just went from hanging out with the dopest people all weekend, just all of us being us, doing our thing and like appreciating all this art. And now I gotta go back to this office.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, but the lady I work with today was like, so how was your little show?
And you were like,
It was amazing. Thank you. And that was the end of it.
Renee,
is
you
some-
touched
summed
on
up
Red Tree
everything.
when we had Red Tree Live. You touched on that and you said it so perfectly about how you felt. I don't know if you remember that.
What did I say?
It was something about going back to the real world, and like tomorrow we're already going to be in our own spots, and it was kind of like sad for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. It's kind of like a culture shock, and I call it the sub drop because, like, you can go through this great, amazing feeling of adrenaline and excitement, and you have to keep your body going for such a long time. And then when you get home, and you can like put down your guard or just your energetic bubble, and then yeah, your body is just kind of doing okay, So I just like, I just do self-care like a mother when I get back, and that usually keeps me pretty good. Because that is too, like we treat our bodies like crap when we're at conventions.
hold on a
even if we try
second. By self-care, do you mean baklava?
Yeah.
Exactly.
One
In
in
the
the hair like
vein.
baklava.
It does it.
All of huh?
We went to North Market before we hit the show, and Renee stocked up on like a month and a half worth of baklava.
And I ate all
It
of it
is
by
good
the end.
baklava
Dude,
though.
North- yeah, they do have good,
Must
they do
Really
have
good
good shit.
baklava.
must eat.
That's the thing I miss about living in the short
Ah,
north, is
no.
having like a North Star right there.
Mm.
Oh man, that was great.
Mhm.
Nothing beats Greek town
No one called me for
baklava.
baklava. I'm just saying. I live here. I ain't get some.
Oh, that place in Greektown, Todd. You are right.
Mhm.
What is it?
Astoria Bakery.
Osteria. Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This
They
is
have
the
a-
part of the show where we all get hungry and start talking about food
Yeah,
every
I want to
week.
go home.
They have
Because
a
we're like,
I'm
They have
hungry,
a
man. I
creme
got some
brulee
caldo in the
also.
fridge I need to eat.
oh,
Hey,
that's
not
just
speaking
rude,
of
Todd.
food, but Renee, I was curious. I was going to ask you, what do you think of judging? How'd that go for you?
Oh, that was actually, it was really fun. I usually do judging with a point system and like 3 people. And I always get really kind of frustrated because there's always like someone on the judging team with an overly biased opinion and not of that of like the standards of what I think a good tattoo is. So I think it was really fun that we could all just like kind of rush and bow and like do the card system, and whoever has the most cards wins. Because there's so many of us up there, we can all like play off of each other. We can all ask each other questions. I liked it. It was a lot more fast paced. It was a lot more like, I felt like we were more like, I don't know, into the situation. Like we were like able to walk around our clients or walk around the clients and like see their full spectrum of tattoos. Whereas like we're like usually sitting at a table, with like a little point booklet and like having to be real secretive about it. But I liked it. It was fun. I don't mind judging. I like it.
I think as a audience participation, watching the people on stage collecting those cards gives you a little bit of a like, oh, and then you get to see the
Yeah.
next level, and then they set the winners to the one heat off to the side, and it helps build this involvement where, like you were saying with the point
Mhm.
system, as an audience visual, it's kind of trash because you really don't get to see the contestants. They go up to the table and then they go off the
Mhm.
stage, and you don't
Mhm.
see any results of what the judges thought about that
Yeah.
tattoo. You just know 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
So to be able to
Yeah.
watch and say, oh, 4th place was fucking killer too, 5th place was fucking killer too, 6th
Mhm.
place was fucking killer too, and to be able to have that understanding of what distinguished between the categories and what made those tattoos better than others.
I
was
think one of the cool
fun
things
from the
about this
outside.
system is, well, 2 things. One, you get to actually like watch the judges kind of like deliberate with one another. But
Ooh,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is you can see like in the categories where there were like numerous entries, they would have like heats, like 2 or 3 different heats. So you could watch as like 3 people progress from each round, and then you could see the best 3 from each round side by side. And you're
Mhm.
at that point you're comparing apples to apples,
Right.
and
Yeah.
you can see
Mhm.
them all side by side, and you get to see it narrowed down even more from there. And I almost like it, like it's really tough when there has to be a tiebreaker, but from the audience point of view, it's kind of nice when there is a tiebreaker because they can see like, oh, they're not just playing favorites. Like
Right.
they're really
Yeah.
like,
Right.
There was a lot of ties this year.
yeah,
There's a lot of good pieces this year. I mean,
yeah.
there's just a
About the
lot of heavy
screen
hitters at that show. And I recognize half of those tattoos just from being in magazines or seeing them at conventions before. And like had to erase my mind of like who it was and then like be like a critical monster towards it. I loved it. I was like, ooh, that is holding up nice. Like I've seen this
Mhm.
piece 4 years ago and that's holding up nice. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But no, you're right, Fawn. I like the idea that people were able to watch us, like kind of like scratch our heads a bit. Because I've gotten stopped in parking lots after judging by people who didn't win, and they were like, wanting to scare me and be like, "Why didn't I win, huh?" Be like, because your piece was good, but just not as good as the other one. So at least on stage, they can actually see us, kind of like our body language, and they can see like I'll like pass by people and go, I
Mhm.
don't know. So I think that makes it seem even more fair, which it is. Like I like that. I don't know.
I
I
think
like
it's
the
kind of
whole
nice.
experience.
I think it's kind of nice also because these collectors have paid to be in these competitions, and to just like parade them across the stage, they don't get anything out of it. But when they have like, you know, some of the best tattooers in the industry looking at them and talking to them, like you can't tell them who the artist is, but you can talk to the judges, like we can interact. And it's kind of
Yep.
cool to hear the feedback. Like, I really love this detail. Like, even when I was up there with my camera over the weekend, like I can't help but be like, that is a cool touch, or that is something I haven't seen before. Or like, you know, just those little comments of like really nicely executed, or this is well done, or the way this ties or flows, like all those little things, that's going to make that collector feel so much better about their tattoo. They're not going to feel like they lost. They're going to feel like, oh, it is good because they said these nice things about it in front of all these other tattoos. And then they can go and give that feedback to their artist.
Yeah.
You know, but on the flip side, they can also hear the feedback of where the judges are looking and talking, and they can be like, you know, if this line just flowed a little bit more this way, it would flow with the body better. The same collector can give that same feedback to their artist when the artist is like, what they say about it. You know, and that's one of the things that, like, as both a collector and an artist, or even a judge, I like this system better because it's so much more interactive, and it just kind of like narrows down the best of the pack so visually and in such an inclusive way.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's so interesting that you word it that way, because it's like not only is it a competition, but it's also a critique.
And
you can take that information and do with
absolutely
what you will.
Yep.
But that's a really cool thing.
I also like it because the collectors we're all standing up there together. So we get to look at each other's work. And like, even if it's not even work from the same category, like I can be showing off my, let's say my leg or my chest piece, and people will be asking about my back, or like I'll move and then they'll ask about my armpits, or I'll ask them like, oh man, that's a really cool thing. Who did this? And I don't know. It was cool to see some of my own work up there this time.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. I had a few collectors show up and show off some sleeves, and it was kind of cool to see them like kind of like hang around on the stage for a little bit too. So it's like, all right,
I can't wait till this is done, man.
It's gonna be a showstopper.
That's what I told you. Fawn asked me, she goes, what's your goal with this tattoo? I'm like, I want to win like a competition. That'd be super dope. Or like place at least would be cool.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
We'll get there. I'm gonna have so much fun in Phoenix. I have 2 clients that I've been working on forever coming. So like I just saw one today. He was coming from Arizona to get tattooed today. And we organized again. Like I've been prepping him all year and he's been really stoked about it. But like he has like 80% of his body done. I feel like no one gets to see that stuff in person. You know, like we've all seen pictures on Instagram and on my portfolio and stuff, but like now just to see what everyone's going to say, like I want a hard critique so bad, and I know he's going to get it. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Like no one else critiques it. They're all like, wow, that's cool. But I'm like, he's going to be in Hell City. He's going to show everything and he'll get some fucking critiques. Like, because I know I can always go back and rework things. And, you know, he's just one of those clients that lets me really have freedom on him. And his work is cool. Oh, I wanted to say another thing too, which has never happened before, ever. Like I've judged tattoo shows since 2000 and I don't know, like 13 or something. And never have I ever gotten a client off of judging, because during the worst tattoo contest, there's a girl that has something on her back, and like she was like, I know mine's bad. No one's been able to fix it. And I like looked at it for a second and I was like, I can fix that. And I gave her my card. And she was like, really? Yeah. But I was like, oh, I love cover ups. I can help you, girl. It's okay. Because she was just so like, I'm so embarrassed with all my friends making it come up because it's so bad. And I was like, it's all right. I can fix it. It's cool. So if she actually does it or not, whatever. The fact that that was even like a cool interaction, you know, I've never had that kind of ability to have that kind of interaction just because of how the voting system does happen, you know. Like they separate the judges from the contestants too much, you know, and you just lose all of that cool interaction for sure. And plus, like we were up there just having a blast with them. Like everyone started doing jokes. And like that's why you saw them laughing and having a good time. We were just joking around with them the whole time. They're like, "Ooh, I'm a terrible joke teller. Like I can't tell dad jokes to save my life, and I'm just not funny in that way." And so I would just keep like, "Wow, that's a really nice unicorn." And like they're like, "You're fucking it up, Ray." I'm like, I don't know what else to say.
Oh,
That's
man.
terrible.
That energy is what makes it watchable from the other side, because there's not a lot of feedback
yeah,
or
for sure.
content or audio from the stage.
Mhm.
You're still just kind of relying on a visual. So when you see everybody up there having a good time, bouncing around, interacting with each other, it's what makes people stay in tuned.
Yeah.
What are they laughing at? What are they talking about? I want to laugh.
Right.
So it's what makes it, I don't want to say tolerable, but entertaining.
Entertaining, yeah.
And it's something that works, but it shouldn't, right? Because it's from the crowd perspective, it's something like you can see that all these people are conversating and judging, but that's about it in the crowd. Like we can't see the detail, but like the people that are in the crowds that are watching this are appreciating it so deeply, like recognizing that there are these people who are so highly skilled at what they're doing that are critiquing and talking about their craft, and it's just like a great opportunity just to be there.
It's one of those things too. Like you want to know, pay your $15.
Yeah.
Pay your $15. Go up, see what it's about.
So one thing I noticed, because I spent so much time up on the stage, just trying to capture as much footage as I could this year, I was like keeping track of like the crowd, because I just like every so often I just pan across the crowd and back, and I'd noticed like every time the competition started, like people would be like scattered throughout, and then once like the first competition was going for like a few minutes, people would start gathering tighter, and then they'd start gathering tighter, and then they'd have to get like closer to the stage because they're so into what's going on. And then
Or it's usually
by like the end of the competitions,
Either.
then by the end of the
they're
competitions, all the
getting
people that have
hungry.
been there from the beginning have crowded as close as they can be, and now it's filling up with more people. So
they
it's
know each
actually
other.
just a floor filled with people, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like people really, I
thought that was
think,
cool.
Having
cared about the competition. It's like
having
the
your focus
collectors and
on the
crowd.
stage.
Mhm.
There's definitely a moment where like you pull your face out of the lens or screen or whatever, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
There's 55 people in my ear now. I'm just gonna shrink into my lens again and not
Oh,
talk about.
well,
There
the
were a
only
few times where I had
complaint.
to come in. Oh, go ahead, Renee.
Please.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what is yours? My only complaint is that I realized that if I bent over at the hips, then I would just be full like crotch mooning people. And so I was like having to like swoop down. Like
I was very conscious of said things, and
Thank you.
luckily I avoided that as much as possible because there's children in the crowd, and
There's
that
children.
was kind
I know.
of my job.
Ben Thomas,
So
the
I kept, like-
considerate cameraman.
Yeah, I got you.
Yes. I kept like bowing down to people on one leg because I was like, I can't let them see my ass this way.
I'm not gonna lie. Renee, I think I got a picture of that. I'll have to double check, but I remember seeing that picture going, what is she doing?
Yeah.
There was a moment, and I'm going to be vague to not bring attention but there was a moment where we had to send somebody running on the other side of the stage to tell somebody that the modesty they thought they had was not there. And it was this weird, like, pan left. Hey, you should go check this situation out real quick. And I know you guys are friends, so fucking hurry. Hey. And it was, again, you didn't know it was a problem because we were so grace.
It wasn't
Was it a
me, 'cause
wardrobe
it was
malfunction?
holy
No.
shit.
Something that shouldn't have been on stage. One of those
We're just going to
situations.
leave it at
Oh,
that,
okay.
please.
Okay.
Because I don't, again.
Then you tell me later.
Yeah, we'll talk about this after. I
just don't
totally
wanna bring
didn't
it
even
to-
hear
if
about
somebody-
this.
If somebody happened to catch it, I don't want it to be.
That's how slick we are. That's how.
Well,
do not
Renee,
want
if
to
it
bring that to
matters,
the
you looked
forefront.
great
I
this
do not
weekend.
want
You
it
were
to
really
be.
well put together. Your shirt,
Ooh.
I loved the leopard print. You looked totally ready to rock.
Oh, thank you. That was my
How are your
power
feet,
print
though?
for the weekend. I worked them a lot on the drive here because like I went half and Micah went half, or Ray went half, and they're all right. They're fine. They'll be fine. Yeah, they're
My
fine.
feet were broken.
Yeah.
Wrong
Sure.
shoe choice for the weekend.
Yeah. I fucked up
I made
hard.
I made poor choices.
Next
Blew
time,
up
go
my
for the
boot during
sparkly
loading.
shoes, guys.
Thank you.
What's that?
Yep.
Sparkly shoes next time, and you're gonna win.
Oh yeah, true. The
Okay.
sparkly shoes were dope.
So, all right.
Mm.
Sparkly shoes.
Lauren had sparkly shoes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those look great.
Yeah.
What's sparkly shoes?
they were cool.
Okay, can we talk about something serious for half a
What do you
second?
want to talk about?
Like as a
What's
crew
serious?
purchase, okay? Like literally, like as a group, can we extract the $64 out of my pay to include a set of Heelys?
Healy?
Because I'm like,
Oh my
motherfucker,
god.
That's a great idea.
just to glide
That's a great
around
idea.
that bitch
Yeah.
would be an amazing opportunity. I don't want on roller
You
skates.
could get those little segways too.
No, that's too much money.
That's
That's
kind of
true.
right with the Heelys.
See, just enough.
But you'll
I
break
just
your
want
cup.
just enough boost.
Just like take a load off.
Fulcrum, baby.
Yeah, just
Well,
ride
they're
the
kind
wave
of hard
for
to
a
find
second, baby.
sometimes, but I know that Amazon, like, I don't know if they change the availability or do what they normally do, but they make their own brand now too that are,
Yeah,
got
they have
some-
Heelys.
yeah.
I'm the
Mhm.
worst shopping.
I don't want to give Uncle Jeff any more money.
Amen.
Hey, I'll give Jeff
You're-
all my
you're-
dollars. He
you're the
delivers the
worst-
Heelys to
You're
my
the worst.
house.
You're the
Like,
worst shopper in all the ways. Like even when it comes to ordering food.
I am.
Like when we had Weird and Wonderful at Red Tree.
Yeah.
And you're like Joe. They have this taco truck. Tell me what to order.
Yeah,
So like I curated your entire whole ass meal.
that's not even the first time you've done that. I'm
love
just a big fan of finding out what you like. If you're gonna recommend something to me,
Yeah.
even if it's I think you're gonna like this, it helps me understand what perception of me you have, and B, if you're really gonna order me some good stuff. That's how you get
It was
introduced
a
to me.
test.
I ordered you that good shit.
Yeah.
It was a test.
Why?
Does
I
he
said,
love you?
order me that good shit. What's that?
Does he really love you? Is it that kind of
Oh,
test?
we're
my,
boys.
my
We're
food
boys.
was delicious. The both times you ordered me food. That's a confidence I like to instill in people. I'm like, what do you like? Because I like it all. And I'm already fat. So bring it out.
So it is 8:16.
No way.
And I have a question,
I have an
Ben.
answer.
What kind of buzz have you heard about Hell City Phoenix?
I heard that it's gonna happen.
I know that. How excited is everybody?
I'm pretty pumped.
I'm pretty stinging pumped.
Fun in the
Incredibly
sun.
over
Are you
here.
coming to Phoenix? Who's coming to Phoenix?
I heard I might be going.
I am.
Aw.
I heard I might be going.
We're all going. So we'll have everybody there
going?
together. Todd's coming. Yeah, we'll all be there.
Boys are back.
You
in
guys are
town,
gonna see
you know?
me be an animal in the
Kyle will
sunlight,
be
in the
there. He doesn't even
pool.
know if he'll be there yet, but Kyle's gonna be there.
Yep, Kyle will be there. Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I'm trying to get more youngins to come just to like help and learn. And they're like, "Ugh." I'm like, dude, come. This is amazing.
Or-
This is like so much
Mhm.
fun.
Don't and just
Renee.
keep it cool.
When I was
She said bring the youngins. I'm like,
when I was watching that video you posted of the tour of your studio, when
Uh-huh.
you opened the secret door, I swear to God, I audibly went, I swear to God, if this is fucking Narnia, I was like, it's like I would not be surprised.
I have a
It's storage
Narnia
room,
door.
but
If you come to Oklahoma during the winter, I have a Narnia door because right now I'm in the middle. Okay, so check it. I have this crazy fucking spot downtown that is completely isolated, and it's our smoking chill area. And I'm building it sheltered before winter. But we have this little like evil door. So I'm gonna build a
That's
shelf in front of
fantastic.
it. Right, it's so good. People think it's like, what is that? I'm like, that's a dungeon.
that's
Obviously, you can
speakeasy as
hear it,
fuck.
I love it.
right?
Awesome.
Yeah,
So,
speakeasy
all
for
I
sure.
do is
Do you call
combine
it the
the
smoke easy?
Yeah, it's smoke easy. And then boom, 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 and it's all snowy out here. It's so cute and like adorable. So it is. I do have Narnia.
oh, we'll have to take pictures there, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, okay. So I have a couple photographers here that I dearly love and have somehow wizarded me into crazy shapes. And so I've been actually building little nooks around my shop that are for photo friendly. And every Sunday I'm gonna open the shop up, and because it's extra this too. So I'll open the shop up and for boudoir photo shoots and all kinds of fun stuff. So you have to come.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be for that. And I have really
Can we
high
do a
ceilings.
boudoir?
Oh, what? Dude, I want to, man.
Ben, you got to. So Ben has this life fantasy, and I need to prepare you all for what you're about to hear.
It's a
But
life.
just take a little walk with Ben because it's pretty specific.
Which one? The stage act?
The Brodoir.
Okay, so I severely
And
want
we can talk about the stage act next.
I wanna-
Let's start recruiting.
I want to do a bro. I think it'd
A
be amazing.
boudoir?
Dude,
A
No,
boudoir?
like a dude.
dude, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm
Do
down
it.
with that.
Hard
man.
in.
I have one
Um,
condition.
What?
I have one condition. I want you
Full frontal male nudity?
no, well maybe.
Oh.
I want to recreate the it's not Bruce Selleck, but the guy where he's like laying on like the bearskin rug in front of the fireplace.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm in. All right,
Yeah.
I want
hard
to
in.
recreate that photo so
Yes.
fucking
Done.
bad. Yes, dope.
But what my
Can he be
ultimate
like
goal and
holding
dream.
like, oh, I'm like, can he be like holding just like a little bell and just like looking up, you know? Like, absolutely.
Absolutely. Help me find the bell. So
Renee, you're gonna have to pay for that. That's a
that's an expense we're not willing to cover.
I'm just-
specific content.
just
So I have some
artsy-fartsy.
questions.
I'm just artsy fartsy. That's all. Yeah.
So for a long time, I've wanted to put a stage show together, and I'm talking about 7 minutes in fame here, guys. I want to do a stage set for the ladies because it seems like there's a lot of testosterone-driven acts in the tattoo circuit, and I think that just as a group, we could benefit from some. I don't know, how do we say this? Attention to
Ribbon
the
dance?
other gender in the crowd or other people that enjoy opposite things. So, what I would like to do would set up an ironing board, a vacuum, I don't know, clothes hamper where I fold shit,
God
You know?
damn it.
Every woman's fantasy.
and just come in about the opposite of a what's a burlesque show. So I'm just gonna come in fully fucking clothed and like wash my clothes. You know what I mean? Like just throw it on a washboard and then run that fucking iron. Just run the iron a few times. Give that vacuum
eat a
few hardy
popsicle.
shakes.
I have a very
And
specific
then drip
question.
some on the floor and then like clean it up. Oh, yeah.
What
Yes.
what music is playing during this?
Whatever
Elevator
you
music.
want it to be.
No.
Coin operated boy.
Hell City Phoenix or what? Ben, is
This will
going
never
down?
actually happen. But
Oh, man.
yes, goals, dreams, lives, and admiration.
So, but you really want to do this photo shoot?
I will do any photo shoot with you.
Yeah.
Talk Durbin to like 5 minutes.
Let's get weird.
I've pitched this to Dirk before, and he legit looked at me and was like, "No, no." Just in case there was any wiggle room for yeses, Ben.
That's a very derp response.
No.
Look, one time when Derb was, he still does it occasionally, but when he was doing a whole bunch of shibari photography, he was like, "You want to come over and have me tie you up?" I was like, "No, Derb."
No. Have you ever seen Durbin Ice Shibari shoot?
Uh-uh.
I do not know where they are on my phone, and I know they're fucking buried. But one night he was doing a shoot. He was supposed to do a photo shoot. He put it up on the fucking internet like he always does. Says, "Hey, this is what I'm doing tonight." Well, that plan fell through, and he invited me over because I was on my way doing something. And the significant other in my life at the time was like, "Isn't he tying fucking people up and taking photos?" And so we sent those photos with him wrapped around my head and him standing behind me, and they're all tied. So Derb and I had a mini shibari in his living room one night,
Well, if you
like
recall,
midway through.
there was a safety meeting that happened between myself, you, and Derb, where we discussed doing a proper shibari shoot for you.
And I
Like,
said,
and you said, "Fuck yeah!" man.
"Okay."
And
So if there's not
but,
one
like-
thing you've learned about me is my willingness, and where are you guys falling the fuck out?
hey man, I'm whenever you want to do it, let's fucking do it.
My willingness has always been here.
All right, Derb. I know he's in Vegas right now.
When he gets back.
yeah, we're
All
gonna
I'm
talk.
saying is, watch my tum-tum. Be sensitive.
Hey man, hey,
Don't
listen,
restrict my belly.
I'm all about body positivity. I want to make you
No,
feel
no, no.
beautiful, dog.
I am beautiful.
All
I'm
right, you
fucking
are
bold
beautiful.
and sexy.
Girl.
I give no fucks. I'm just saying,
Mm.
don't hurt my belly.
That is just more room for decorative knotting, like a tum-tum of
Yes.
macrame.
Yes. With my little rose patch.
Yes.
I'm so excited for this.
I've always been down. I'm just saying you've let me down. That's what I'm just saying.
Wow.
All the way in your court. Way in
You're
your
a bad friend.
I am.
You say hurtful things. Don't think you can fix this.
Joe, is this the first time you've been on the show?
It is.
The long hug
The
always
first
fixes
He's
everything.
been on the show and he already got a long hug. That's a record.
Fixes everything. Again, Joe's sweated in my mouth before. It kind of helps break a lot of bonds. So
Yeah.
you get real close real fast with people you allow to not kill you.
Yeah.
When the option of physically impaling me and or ripping an appendage off of my body and mutilating me is always there, and you choose not to, time and time again,
Thanks.
it builds this level of trust that happens real fast.
That's how they
that I've
get you.
It is how they get you. They rope you in with this trust of non-death,
Mhm.
and then they choke you slowly.
And we enjoy it
Mhm.
You do.
so much.
hug
Yeah,
each
and
other
you
on the
like
back.
it, but they
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I mean, they bring you back.
They do. They'll lift your feet. It's your job to tap. I'm just saying, just like everything else. If it's too much, say no.
Dude, but
And that is your responsibility as a human being to make your own boundaries.
I went through that phase though where like, and it was a little bit before I got my purple belt, but I went through that phase where I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna go out. I'm gonna let them put me out. Like, because I wanted to know, like,
Where's the
at
line?
what point, yeah,
gotta read the line.
where is too late? And like now, I know exactly where that line is, and I'll hang out in that triangle choke that I suck at defending, and I'm just gonna fucking chill there and hang out, and then just be like, well, no, all right, I'm still good. I'm still good. I'm still good. I'm still good. Oh God, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Oh, not me. I am the guy that taps like because you got into a good position.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, hey, that was some
You-
legs.
you
Start
piece of
over.
shit. You're trash.
I am.
You're the worst person.
I am. Hence the longevity of my game.
Gets you out of it though.
It does. That's my favorite part about jujitsu. You won, buddy. Good job. Trophies today at practice.
Yeah. I'll get you next time.
No, I never. Never. But yeah, builds trust. Sorry, didn't mean to derail the conversation.
So after I'm done rolling this blunt, I have a prop behind me.
Ooh, I'm gonna roll one too.
Guess what, guys?
We support these decisions.
I won best all around female.
Whoa!
Yeah,
You did.
I'm excited about that.
yeah, you're famous and stuff.
So that means I didn't get naked in front of an entire audience full of people for nothing.
For no reason. Did
No, your
you
back is
adhere to the
crazy.
don't be a dick rule?
No, the collectors get to keep that one. But I just recently
Just
sent
like
Russ a whole box of trophies.
Nice.
Wait, what?
There's a don't be a dick rule.
Yeah, if
okay.
you-
So
if
if
you-
you win a tattoo competition, they give you a medallion, which is for you. And they give you a trophy, which is for your fucking artist, because they did the tattoo. You lazy piece of shit. You just sat there, send it to your artist.
Right.
Yeah.
And this brings us to
No.
our next point. One of the reasons that collectors are so competitive over like best all around male, best all around female, or best
That's
all around bodysuit, or is because that's the only award that's intended for the collector. Like
Right.
that's the only award that gives us acknowledgement of our pain and our commitment to our artists and our gratitude and that exchange of energy between us and the artist. That's the only award that is even acknowledges the effort and the journey of the collector. So it's really a special award. Like outside of like the competitiveness, it's just acknowledging that like all of that work was worth it for me as the collector, you know, like people see what I'm doing and are noticing. And I don't know. That's what makes that a little bit more coveted. Like it's nice to win the other big awards. The like I've won for my leg, I've won for my chest. I think I've won an award for everything except my armpits so far. But those were all awards that my work won. The work that I wear, not the work that I did.
Not your a community.
Correct.
Thanks.
I was
don't
just a bystander in the process, and I happened to be the owner of that art. That award isn't for me. So the best all around male and female is the one that acknowledges the collector. And that's the one where, like, you know, once you have a nice enough collection, the other heavy hitter collectors start recognizing you. It gets kind of cool when we're all up on stage together. And there's like, it's like almost like a moment of camaraderie rather than a moment of like competitiveness. Once you get down to the last like 6 or 5 or 4 or 3,
I
you
told
know.
Todd several times he's lucky I'd had to work.
But yeah, it's just a good feeling to be acknowledged for our contribution to the project. You know what I mean?
You took the time to select the artist. You took
Mhm.
the time to appreciate and allow that artist to do what they do. You tied it all together. It was your plan, your fortitude, your
Yep.
Your
It's
time,
the
your
only one.
money, your health.
Plus, we sat through it.
Yep.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, you sat
another
through
thing.
it.
And then who
Well, my
took
girl,
second?
Ray.
Oh, go
my
ahead.
lady.
I was just getting to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, could you
And
talk
I
about
get-
her collection a little?
My favorite back I've ever photographed.
No, thanks. Yeah, like she was like, Renee, you know you won because like you tattooed me the most. And I was like, yeah, but also all the other freaking artists on her, and she is a collector. She just loves it. She wants the best of the best for like everything. So I'm like honored that she's like there and doing it, and I got to like do her back. You know, it's so much trust. And so yeah, I feel like I won like 50% of that award. But like she pays for it. I wanted to judge, so I didn't enter her for large color or back. It was something on Saturday. But then when I realized, like, I was like, oh, I see how the card system works. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I can like just not vote for her. And
Well, yeah. When I've
still be
seen
fair.
Derb run into that situation before, and literally guys, for the integrity of the competition, I have a piece that is in this particular thing, so I'm going to take myself out of it. And since there's 5 judges on the stage, he hands his cards out to the people that are there, and they just go on about the process. So it's actually like a super noble, I don't know the right
Yeah.
words, but
Yep.
It's stuck
There's
into it.
built-in protocol
Yeah,
if
it's
that
fucking cool.
happens.
And I did. I just like didn't like even look at her, you know, and then voted for everyone else like she didn't exist in the category. So it was pretty cool that she won that, you know, that ranking. So I'm like, oh,
Nice.
sick. Go lady,
And
you know,
then-
and she took her by surprise. She didn't think she would like win anything. But I'm like, yeah, you will.
She had an amazing collection.
I love it when
She
you
is
talk
one.
somebody into entering and they place. It's
Yeah.
like, see,
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
See, I
I told you your
told
work
you.
was great.
She's like,
Ray has one of
"Well, what
my
is this
Ray has
for?"
Ray has one of my favorite collections I've ever seen. I
Mhm.
love her collection so much. It's like every single piece just punches with color. Every single piece is just so tight. Like all of it's good.
All of it's good. And she takes my word for it too. Like she just got like I love that she trusts me so much as a client, but also she is my friend. You know, her and her entire family are my buds here. And she really does trust my word on like who's a trustworthy artist, like who's quality, who's good, like who will be outlasting, you know, of like trends and things like that, who will be like a classic artist, you know, in my opinion. And, you know, like she just went down to South Florida and got tattooed by my tattooer, Travis Brown. And the pieces is that the old peony on the inside of her leg on her knee. And yeah, he did my knee. But, you know, just the fact that she's like that, she wants to collect that hard, that she wants to collect not only like the artwork, but also like how the person is with the community. She's looking for good people that does good work. And I love that that's her way of collecting, because everyone has like, oh, you know, some people just get dark art, some people just get portraits, some people just get, you know, but like her way of collecting seriously is like bright colors, if they're a good person, and like is their work phenomenal, and like they've like reached a certain point of their artistic integrity basically.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, she wants to get
That's a
tattooed
very
by-
elegant way to put it.
Oh, thank you. I do that
And
sometimes.
it's a great vetting process because, you know, like I said, her collection's amazing.
And then
Mhm.
who came in
Yeah.
third? It was Andrea? Do you know what's Andrea's last name, Todd?
I forgot what her last name is, but
Mhm.
yeah,
She's
she's from
got a
Michigan.
beautiful geometric
Yes,
bodysuit.
done by
Mhm.
Loaf.
Hmm.
Yeah, that shit
Yeah,
was dope.
Andrea, it is. She's quite proud of it. She's been working on it hardcore, really hardcore past 3 years to finish it, and she's pretty much finished.
Hell City's the only place that makes me realize how much I don't have done. Does that
Mhm.
make sense? Like I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really
Fine.
got some
I will
cash
never
to
be
fit.
on that stage with you. I'm like so not covered. I have so many outlines. It's ridiculous. I have so
Do you
many
need them
outlines.
colored in?
Yeah. Yeah. James actually took on the job for my octopus I have on my leg. But I have so much more. Like
Yeah, need to get back in the chair
yeah.
for sure.
All my clients surpass me now. And I feel like so like what? I was taboo when it was taboo. And now I'm just normal. Oh, what happened?
Now I have
No.
to
You
catch
paved
up.
the way. That's what happened. You paved the way.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. Now I'm like,
Um,
yeah, all these ladies have like full sleeves and back pieces and they're awesome. And I'm like, I don't want.
what were the men that won for best overall, Todd?
Oh,
Got
Oh, Sam won.
Sam,
what was that awesome old
Tony.
guy?
It was Sam, Tony, and Forrest,
Tony.
right?
Holy man.
Forrest, yep.
Fucking
I
cool.
need
That
to
guy's
get
cool.
Sam on. Hopefully, I've interacted with Sam a few more times now, so hopefully we can get Sam on.
Brought it up with him again.
I did get to strongly encourage Forrest Frat Tail all weekend from side stage.
Yes,
And it was amazing to watch his reaction. He always gave me a glorious little
the
flutter.
little flick.
Oh, that flip.
Dude, he had
His rat tail's
work was
amazing.
great. His work was great, but yeah, his rat tail was
I mean,
crying.
his tattoos are like okay, but that rat tail, my God.
That rat
So
tail
we've already
sucks,
talked
yeah.
with Forrest. I have always wanted to talk with Sam. I would like to have him on in the near future. But Todd and I had the chance to sit down with Tony, and I hadn't met Tony before, and he has the most amazing collection. Todd knows Tony, and apparently he's like more connected and like knows more gossip, and he's more of like a treasure trove of information than Todd, according to Todd.
According to Todd.
Oh, dang.
The gossip
Tony's a
according
good
to
guy.
Todd.
That's a glowing endorsement.
Yeah.
Spilling
Well,
the tea.
But what Tony is I share a common bond with him is that we started getting tattooed when we were older. And he's went hardcore ever since he's done it, and he's got a hell of a collection. His belly is just first rate. That Josh Payne
Yeah.
piece is sick. It really is. I was glad to see him win something for the Hell City because he goes to these conventions all the time, him and his wife. They've been a part of it. You see them at almost every convention anymore. They're just wonderful people. And Tony's a great guy. And he has some stories to tell.
Oh, I bet.
That's for sure.
When we were up there, it was a tight fit, or it was like a tight pick, and I voted because he had the most like historically like 25-year collection versus a guy who like got them all in the last 5 years. And that was it. I was like, I would love to see, the one guy that had like I can't remember the artist that did them because can't ask. But he had like all the same work from one person, which I feel like is its own category itself. Like, wow, you like gave your heart and soul to one tattooer. That's pretty significant than being like an overall collector. I think there's just two different kinds of collectors or multiple, but when you have tattoos from 25 years of collecting and all from different people, that's like so impressive, and it came down to he was fully covered of 25 years of collecting versus halfway covered of collecting for 5 years. Like, I'm like, I want to see you in another 5 years. And you would, if you have a full suit from someone, that's pretty dope. That's like, that is, I think that's the grand coup de grace of collection is having your entire body suited by one
I was
person.
trying.
That's,
I got 3 out
Yeah,
of
I
the
was
4
trying.
limbs, and my guy retired.
oh,
It's like,
Well, that's kind of like Brian. with
Love you,
Dirk,
Wes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Love
I mean,
you,
Brian
Wes.
was a blank
was like,
slate.
Yep.
Ooh,
He's
look at
talking
her.
about Brian Minot. If you watch the Nightmare Tampa episode, that's the Brian we're
the
talking about.
Nightmare Tampa
It's
episode.
epic. I think we've had more views on that show than any other.
Yeah, you guys were.
I don't know if that's
You
good
guys
or
were
bad.
fired up after that shit, man.
But wait, there's
Well,
more.
when after you see Hell City and you
Yeah.
see like how like the customer, the client, the person attending the show is treated with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
And the way they are treated with the utmost respect is a beautiful experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like I said at the beginning of this, where it was just like, you know, my only other context is Motor City, and from my perspective, that was not a bad show. But
Motor City is a great
but
show.
once again,
Motor City's a great show.
I mean, I experienced it from being tattooed by you all
Mhm.
day. I didn't get to really like go and experience it. Whereas with Hell City, I did.
Mhm.
But that being said, I had a great time in Motor City, but Hell City was amazing. Like, it was so good.
You got to
Well,
experience
that-
your first Hell City as both like a spectator
And like
and a
worker.
backstage
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
I was in that
The
boat
thing
too.
is
Yeah.
the thing with Hell City though is for the overall category is that's the one that every collector wants to win. You know,
Show
I
us,
won
Todd.
mine.
There you go.
Damn
I
right.
was waiting
I
on
won
it.
mine.
Yeah, I was waiting on it.
Von Winhurst,
My brother
you know,
Todd.
and that matters. You know, it does. One, they can't take that away from you. You know, I mean, I've got 2 third place finishes at Hell City, a second place and a first place. You know,
Nice.
I mean, I'm
Nice.
more than happy with that, and it's an honor to just to place in this
Mhm.
in this one
Yeah.
because there's so many great collectors. There are.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
And
didn't
this
think
year,
I'd
there
place.
was really loaded. This year
Yeah,
we were
they're
really
way
loaded
out
with
of my
great
league.
collectors.
Like I was like, oh,
I didn't think I'd place when I entered in Phoenix because my back was so far away from completion and like my armpits. I don't even know if my armpits were started yet. But they're like by collection, just I mean, it's still not close to complete, but it was way further from completion. And then at Hell City this year, like there were some really good female collectors that showed up. And you know,
Yeah,
depending
for
on
sure.
like I've been in competitions before where it came down to like, well, all 4 of their limbs are covered and you haven't even covered any of your limbs yet. You've got a leg sleeve. It's like, yeah, it's like my entire torso and my noggin. Come on. So
Come
it's
on
one
now.
of
it's
those
supposed
like
to be. It's not supposed to be
if-
coverage. It's
if
supposed to
we're-
be total collection. But
right.
It's hard to judge when they've got so much good total
Mhm.
collection. So
Yep, but that's one of
Mhm.
those like, you know, when it's close, what's the deciding factor? Whatever they decide the deciding factor is, you just got to go with it. And like, would my
Yeah.
feelings be hurt because I didn't win? No. No.
because you got to see some cool
No.
fucking tattoos.
Well, and the
You
other
were not
thing
that
is-
person that met me in the parking lot.
the other thing
You were
is
not.
the show that I'm talking
I've had
about
that
was
too.
Chris
I've
Taylor's
had people
show.
do that.
Mhm. I'm so
it
glad
was
that I'm
Chris
like
Taylor's
allowed
show.
living from Florida because it was nuts. I was like, whoa, this is aggressive.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, someone like found me in the parking lot after the show because they didn't win. And they got
You
mad.
want me to teach you how to efficiently kick people in the nuts?
Oh, I know how to do that.
Okay, just
Yeah, I
make
had
sure.
an artist.
You got to yell, "That's
I had
my
an
purse.
artist.
I don't know you."
Okay,
I don't know
Basically,
you,
based off of-
okay?
That's my
Based off of
purse.
the little time I spent with Renee, I'm fully confident in her ability just to be able to dismantle some unfortunate dude's ball sack.
Yeah,
Dismantle.
I did the
I like
I
your
did the
I like your word
jujitsu.
selection.
I like the
Jiu-jitsu.
dismantling. Yeah, I did the jujitsu. Yeah, and many other things. You know, yeah.
Many other
dismembering,
things.
Renee
We don't talk
passes,
about the other.
Renee passes the bad bitch test
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah,
For
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't mean to talk down on your defendabilities.
I grew up watching Xena Princess Warrior. All right.
Oh, Lucy Lawless, what's up?
Oh, what's up? Yeah, what's up? She is
And the
wonderful.
occasional Kevin Sorbo, you know? Oh,
Occasional. That was the point.
Okay.
I mean,
of Xena? Of Xena?
I'll fast forward just to get there.
So we're getting to about the 3-hour mark. We're getting
What?
closer to that. We've jibber jabbed
How
the
long?
whole day away. We
Gotcha.
talked
I don't know
Glad I
why, but
made
I'm
it.
really
Time to
hungry,
wrap
so
it up.
I'm probably cool with Balin.
It's probably all the weed we've been smoking.
Oh
Do we
no,
even
is that what it
smoke?
was?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to roll one before we go?
Do you, Todd or Renee, do you either, whichever of you wants to go first? You got anything cool coming up over the next few weeks?
Yeah.
I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks.
You got a tournament?
Yeah, it's work time. It's World Series of Poker. It's poker season in Vegas.
Get it,
Starts
buddy.
at the end of the month and goes for 6 weeks. So it's poker season.
Sending all the good vibes your way,
Am I
man.
gonna see you
Oh,
on
yeah.
ESPN the
You're gonna
Ocho?
We're
win all
gonna be
those
smoking
things.
all the good weed.
Yep. You win all things. I'm a
Oh,
little
yeah, I
cray
get high
cray
all
for
the
the next 2 weeks. I wish I could come and party with you instead of being a crazy person for the next 2 weeks. But if anyone wants to come to Oklahoma and help me. But no, the Villa Mart show is on the 10th of next month, and I'm the host shop. So that means all my Philly friends and all my like Florida friends, pretty much all my like pirate friends are gonna come to my studio and party.
Nice. So
Yeah, I'm putting
You're-
noodles, like squishy noodles on everything. Like, no, I gotta like get booze and all the licensing together, and I have to, make sure the shop's safe, make sure there's no pointy edges so they can run the system too, and make sure everyone's comfy when they come in for the Bill Art show. Because the worst case scenario with the art shows is like everyone gets Thursday or in a fight with the locals. And since they're all Philadelphians and East Coasters with Oklahomans, it could be bad. So I'm like,
Oh, no.
It'll be fine.
come to my studio, it'll be fine. I'm building like a little axe throwing pit down my little weird way. Because I built this deck last summer.
Your
And so I'm
neighbors
gonna
gotta
ask-
love you.
No, I don't have any. I have a parking lot. That's
Nice.
it. And a Thai kitchen, and they're lovely. They love us. We're fan.
don't throw axes that way.
No, we're gonna cover the HVAC system, everything.
Do you
Yeah,
get
they're
like the
Buddhists.
VIP entrance in the back, or do you have to go up through the
Do
front?
they have a little
I
baby
gotta go
door
through
that
the
you can pop in and
front.
ask for noodles and shit?
No, we did. Oh my god, we did. We had to seal it off. But I was like, this
Aw.
is my little. It was upstairs, so it was like this little secret, like weird janky door, but it led to their upstairs, not the restaurant. So it'd be like stepping through like walks and whatever.
Weird
We sealed it off.
Coraline doors
Weird.
everywhere.
Love it.
Dude,
Coraline
this
doors.
building's really old. It's from I have a wall, I guess it's from 1908, and it's pretty cool. And we have a ghost, and we actually have a shirt that we're making of Ghost Cat because we've all now seen it, encountered it, felt it, like everything. We've all
Okay,
developed
so
like a
I
list.
happen to know a paranormal investigation team. Can
I
we
do
mount up?
too. I don't know. I don't want to piss him off. He's cool right now. I mean, he did break something today.
So I have
Don't
an
have to be
idea
mean
for
to
you,
him.
Renee.
It, whatever it is.
Huh.
I have an idea. You need to make your next shirt be like tiny ghost kitty emerging from like space with tiny little gold fang with a star, like a Spalding. Bing.
Ooh.
Little ghost
Oh,
kitty.
I like that with a gold fang moon, maybe, because I do challenges for my coworkers of like, if you make a cool shirt design, you get a pizza party, and I get the fancy pizza.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah.
Can I make a
So
t-shirt
whoever-
design for you?
We're gonna need
yeah.
t-shirt designs soon. By the
Mhm.
way,
Dude,
that's something I haven't.
we're buying.
talked-
Dude,
I
we're
haven't
buying.
seriously talked
we're-
about that with anybody yet. But
We're
like
buying
the
the
next
screen
step
prints
is.
and all that shit. We're buying all that shit to do that in house.
Oh well, perfect
Oh,
timing.
I
'cause
want
we're
to do it
gonna
in house
need
so bad.
shirts.
Yeah.
Well, during COVID, the shirt game was real hard, so I got real piratey. And it was hard. But now I think it's coming all back a little bit. But no, I have a t-shirt design already, and it is like a little like acid trippy, fucking 70s stoner rock looking ghost cat.
What's a boy got to do to get one of those? What's an
Oh,
Ohio boy got to
she's-
do?
She's
Are you
rendering
shipping?
it right now. She's like making sure it's good for print. We have to like make it minimal color. She originally did it with like 17 colors. I was like, girl, this is not where the pizza party. Come on.
So direct to garment printing. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yes.
DTG.
Okay.
All your dreams are
Tell me
possible.
what that
Oh
is.
man, but screen printing though is just that tactile
I
feel. That's
know,
the
but I love
answer.
the tri
Trash.
blends. I love the soft tri blends with multiple colors that feel like you're in
Yeah,
the
you
fabric.
start layering ink on top of that, it turns into trash. But we need to
It's a lot, and I love all the
colors.
colors. Yeah, so tell me about
Direct
that
to
more,
garment.
Ben.
Direct to garment.
Thank you. I want a machine.
Ben's a fabric
How do I get
nerd.
one?
We've talked about this.
Huh?
I'm a fabric nerd. I used to make dresses and stuff, so I know
I
fabric.
worked at
I
a
know
dry
top.
cleaner for 10 years, and I worked at a digital printing company as a tech that fixed the brother DTG printers.
Bragging.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
niche. That's what I got.
That's
I know more about
cool. Yeah, I
fabric
want to
than
make
most.
shirts.
I got you, bro.
My shirts are fucking, they're good.
DTG.
They're soft.
All right.
Everybody else.
Oh,
Hey guys,
We've
I
come to
miss
the
you
end of
we're
the
guys.
gonna
month.
end it.
Yeah,
I miss you
guys. It
already.
was a
Todd,
smoking
I
blunt.
appreciate you so
No.
much. Everybody who's been paying attention, I appreciate you all.
Thanks
Thanks for
for
joining us. See you
Mhm.
us later on.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.